actually working. My neighbor's dog has begun their outdoor barking time. Let's see if I'm live. This says past blind. It does show I'm live. Yay. Let's see if I'm live on TikTok. Last time I live streamed last week on Wednesday, there were approximately a bajillion viewers on TikTok, and I didn't even notice because I simply was busy. Good day. Hello. Hello, everyone joining. I know we have a couple different platforms today. We've got, let's see if it's going on TikTok. It is live on TikTok. Okay. If you're watching on TikTok, you're welcome to watch there. But if you want to be able to comment publicly and engage in the live stream, you can go to YouTube or Twitch, because I cannot pay attention to everything at once. Shalom Aleichem. Hello. Welcome to the beginning of the live stream. It's when I have the most energy, which is still very low. Today is obscenely warm in Los Angeles. It is, it's 6 p.m. and I believe it is still 97 degrees. Yeah, it's still 90. Actually, it just went down to 96. Extreme heat warning, 96 degrees. So if I'm a little bit tired today, please forgive me. I'm also red. I'm bright red. Look how red my face is. Oh, I should probably powder. How is everyone doing? You're just watching on my YouTube Shorts. I've been trying to post more on YouTube Shorts because I want to be able to be monetized before I post the video on Palestinian Yiddish, because, look how I'm so shiny. Wow. But their monetization requirements are 3 million views on Shorts or 3,000 watch hours on videos. And they have to be, the Shorts, I think, has to be within 90 days, and the other one has to be within 365 days. So, ooh, yeah, 96, 97, humid. Oh, I hate it. I hate the heat so bad. It's genuinely one of my least favorite things of all time. I am not a fan in any sense. Oh, I made a graphic. I want to see if it also works. Okay. I think we did sparkles last week. And they're back. I love the sparkles. I'm not going to do them because, oh, wait. These aren't showing up at all. Okay. I guess you can only have one going at all time. Doesn't seem useful, but whatever. We're just going to ignore it. Let's go back to chat. Hi from Egypt. Hello. Very excited for the Palestinian Yiddish video. I'm also very curious about Hiberno Yiddish. Yeah, so I'm excited about the Palestinian Yiddish video. I haven't filmed it yet, but the script is at 13,000 words, and I have I think I have 2,000 more words written in another area that I need to just send into there. The requirements have changed a couple times. They are the most reliable one I've heard. Yes. So having spoken with a bunch of my other, content creator friends, YouTube is the most reliable and the best. Facebook is also better than TikTok. TikTok, as you all know, or maybe you don't know, TikTok did officially demonetize me. So I don't make any more money from TikTok. I would make roughly $50 a month, which is nothing to sneeze at. It's really nothing to sneeze at. And so it is disappointing. And it's also disappointing because when you are part of the Creator Rewards program and your RPM is 0, I have noticed that it does tank your reach, which is frustrating. But yeah, so that's why I'm hanging out on Twitch, because I might as well make that money back. Ooh, in Brazil, it's cold. I'm not at all jealous. I am very happy for you. And I'm not at all jealous and upset and wish that it was cold here. It's winter here. I'm terrified for summer. I wish I could reassure you. I can't. Hey, I hope you have air conditioning. That's my next big thing. All right. Hello, friends. Am I on Twitch right now? I have TikTok on my phone. If you're watching on TikTok, I'm hanging out on Twitch or on YouTube. So you can watch either place. If you're not a big Twitch fan, YouTube is also there. That way you can comment more accurately, because otherwise I have to look on my phone because the program I use does not copy in the comments from TikTok. I love wearing my Doy Kite necklace. I'm so glad. Hi. Doy Kite necklace is available on jewwitches.com. It's the necklace I designed. This is the other one that I just designed. It is in development, it's in manufacturing. It should be hopefully shipping out early August. Bizrat Hashem. Nothing happens with importing. For those who don't know, the US did change its importing laws that went into effect last week, which has been kind of a nightmare for manufacturers. You should just said, I guess I love your account. Thank you. Am I on Twitch? I'm on Twitch. The community hearts. I don't know how. Okay. Oh my God, you're live. Yes, I am. I'm so excited to dig into your long form content, Diva. By the way, if anyone likes my long form things, I do have a podcast. I haven't updated it in over a year. It's the Jewwitches podcast. So the topic is Jewish magic, that kind of thing. But I do long form stuff over there. It's much more scripted, not as much of my personality necessarily, but people seem to enjoy it. Only a month and a fortnight left. If that's going to make you feel better. It doesn't. I mean, it does actually, but it just came from TikTok. Yay. One day, would you make the Doy Kite necklace in 14K solid or nameplates in Hebrew? Probably no to both. And here's the reason for it. It's just unbelievably expensive. I mean, like, so God willing, one day I will have the funds to do it. But when you are manufacturing something in pure 14K, it is such a high upfront cost. And it's so difficult. People do want it. I know of people who want it, but I would have to take pre-orders for like 6 or 7 months out just to figure it out. It's so difficult. And as for nameplates are another difficult one because they have to be custom made. And my manufacturer is overseas. They are a BCI certified manufacturer. They're amazing. And even though I'm in Los Angeles, which has an amazing jewelry industry, either I don't feel comfortable with the politics or practices of the manufacturers, or I don't feel comfortable with their quality. I tested a lot of manufacturers. I don't know if I honestly don't know if YouTube live views help with reaching it. Let's Google. We can Google together. Do YouTube live streams count towards watch hours? Oh no. It's only after I post it. So only because after I do the live stream, this will be saved to the public channel. If you watch it again, then there, yes. Otherwise, Twitch is fine. I'm trying to eventually get monetized on Twitch too. So we'll see. It says I'm having Jewish spaces online that aren't completely Zionist. Everything I see is either Zionist apologia or anti-Semitic BS. Ugh. You know, it would be, why can't we just have no bigotry of any kind, no weird ideologies of any kind? I want to get matching to, I can't ask my girlfriend, but do it. Do it. I dare you. I double dog dare you. Right now, all of them are in stock. We have sterling silver. We have gold vermeil, which means it's a base of sterling silver. And then it has, okay, for those of you who don't know, do a little jewelry education. Plating means it's under 0.5 microns thick of whatever it's plated with. So let's say you have brass and you put silver on top of it. If it's plated, it's under 0.5 microns. Vermeil means it's over 2.5 microns. So for example, this one is our sterling silver necklace. It is pure sterling silver, which is 925, which is 92.5% silver, and then a small mix of other things, right? That is the standard, absolutely. Vermeil options are 925 sterling silver and then 2.5 microns of gold. I wear gold. I am a gold girly now. I used to be a silver girly. I've worn my Doy Kite necklace every single day, and I don't believe in taking things off to shower. I don't. I wear it in the shower. I've worn it in the pool. I've worn it in the ocean, and it's still in perfect condition. Anyway, and then we have a stainless steel, which is silver plated, and we have stainless steel that's gold plated. So remember, those are 0.5 microns thick. Okay. You, Mamesh, are really doing Hashem's work. Can you make it so important? Keep it up. These kind of messages are so sweet. I get, I posted on Instagram. We talked about this last live stream, but I'll probably talk about every live stream. I was dealing with, I deal with a lot of hate, especially on Facebook, and especially from like sort of repeat customers. I mean, people who just hate me. And I block a lot of them, but sometimes I just leave them because they bring comments, and not to sound, frustrated, but one of the reasons we have these huge mega accounts that are awful and evil, like Tucker Carlson and the It's Ginger Theory person and all these other accounts, is because they get engagement. So I will leave them up sometimes if I just have, because it's a little bit of engagement, and hopefully it won't be the worst. But yeah, these nice comments really mean a lot to me. Okay, sticking to your morals is the most important thing, and I know you care about that, and that's just so respectable. I try. If there's anyone with money in here, people could donate. Yes, you can always donate to me. I have my Venmo. It should be on the screen up in the top corner there and here, depending on if you're watching portrait or landscape. Yeah. Venmo, it's Zohar. If you don't have a Venmo, I have a coffee. It's also Zohar, Zohare. I got the solid silver die cut necklace and I wear it every day, and I've worn it every day for like 2 years. 10 out of 10, no complaints. Yes. Oh, that makes me so happy. Okay. Have I considered making content for YouTube? Yes, I am making content for YouTube. It just takes so long. It takes a lot longer than people think. I think that we often have this idea that we're just gonna, we'll just write the script and they'll be done with it. But writing the script is so much easier when you don't have to do research for it. Here, well, let's open my Google document and look at this Palestinian Yiddish script together. We'll do it together. The 2 books were actually, I think I did 70 pages of annotations yesterday. This is the script so far. Oh, why are we're not scrolling? We're not scrolling. There we go. Just keeps going. Just keeps going. Oh, we got to the bottom. Here are the 20 citations. A lot of them, which are like public journals, work, lots of it. Research is a lot of work, and then writing the script, and then sitting down to film it, and then editing it. It's all a lot. Oh my God, thank you for I just saw the heart gift. By the way, if you're watching on TikTok, I am trying to keep up with it on my phone, but I am streaming through a platform. I'm streaming through Twitch and YouTube. Very exciting. So my name is Zohar, if you're saying it with a Hebrew accent. If you don't say it in English, it's Zohar. So the sound is tsa, instead of like General Tso's sauce. Or if you think about the words pizza, it's a tsa. It's the Hebrew letter tzadi. And it's one of my favorite parts about it is the letter tzadik. Love the name. And I have a great memory of like my parents trying to get people to pronounce my name correctly my whole life. My mom would put like a T in front of it to be like TZ. Will they pronounce it correctly? Will they get the tsa? Because it's not a z, it's tsa. So it's Zohar in English. And it comes from a word that means window, and it's from a moment in the ark where God commands Noah to make a window or a skylight in the ark. And Kabbalistically, it's believed that it wasn't actually a skylight. It was actually a sacred gem that fell from the heavens. So it's pretty fun. Okay. Podcasts are the easiest thing to do, but I will tell you, having recorded many a podcast in my time, it is still difficult. It is still difficult. Even when you script it perfectly, it will eventually stumble over your words, and it's a nightmare to edit. And you also have to edit things out. Though I have considered, and I guess I have y'all here. Hello, all 23 people. And I guess if you're watching on TikTok as well, I should look at my comments for this. For the Palestinian Yiddish video, would everyone be mad if I was sitting here holding my little mini iPad and a microphone and reading? Because what I was planning on doing is probably propping my little iPad up with a teleprompter app, because I'd have to look at the camera, but also I'm looking above the camera. So I don't know. If you're watching on TikTok, by the way, you can watch me on Twitch and YouTube. That is where I can actually see your comments, but watching on TikTok is also good. And I really appreciate all the gifts. I completely understand the hardship of people trying to pronounce your name. I will always try my hardest to pronounce someone's name. My whole life, and I'm not the only one in my family, no problem. Everyone's not mad at it. Okay, we'll see. I hate the way people, especially in America, people just like, oh, I'll just give up and give you a nickname. I know someone who calls me Zozo. Who are you referring to? Do I look like a Zozo? I don't know. Maybe I don't, but yes, you've got it in the comments. Atsadi. Hey, Resh. Mostly listen to things anyway because I can't focus anyway. I will be putting images on the screen though, because there are really cool images that go along with Palestinian Yiddish and the history there. So I've got, okay, this one is, oh man, I wish I had my little iPad, but I think it's dead right now. I guess I could just pull it up. Okay. I'm going to do something that's a little bit This is something I think about all the time. First of all, Jabotinsky, right? Horrible, evil cow. His original name is Vladimir, a Russian Jew. Vladimir changed his name to Zev. He's wolf. This is what this man looked like. Okay, let's see if I can share screen. This is what Zev Jabotinsky looks like. Okay, we're all seeing this now. I need to Google what this man's name is. What's his name? Nope. No. That's not his name. No. Who is it? This guy. Let me present to you who I think Vladimir Jabotinsky looks like. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Does this not? Are these not? Do they not look the same? Anyway, thank you for listening to that. Anyway, so there will be images on the screen as I'm doing the video. Okay, there's a lot of comments I missed. If you're watching on TikTok, by the way, I am streaming on Twitch and on YouTube. You can go watch over there. That way I can see your comments, but you're welcome to that. Oh, that's not a good one. Know someone named Nechama. And Nechama is another good one. That one's always fun. Just deciding to call someone Zozo is wild. Yeah, it's not my favorite thing that's ever happened to me. Brings me a lot of comfort as an anti-Zionist, feels drawn to Judaism. Yeah. Oh, wow, that's a bummer. Well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you can find community with all the other people. Oh no, this might be the meanest thing I've ever heard. And once I was told I have Jabotinsky glasses and I still haven't. I'm so sorry, friend. No. Though, would it make you feel better to know that my mother saw my new glasses and she told me I have glasses that I look like Snoops? And for those of you who aren't familiar with Snoops, he's the character from The Rescuers who looks like this. Shalom Aleichem, welcome. Oh wait, why did I just go all the way up? Okay. Okay, let's see. This is a good question. What can I get rid of this? Stop. Can I ask if you are influenced by anti-Zionism in a theological sense derived from the teaching of the three oaths in the Gemara? So let's pull them up. For those of you who are not familiar, now this is a section of the Gemara. I believe it's in Ketubot. Let's see when it loads, and it's loaded. Israel must not ascend to land. Israel as the people of Israel, the Jews, not the modern political nation state, because this was written before there was a modern political nation state. And maybe I should just use this. We'll use the terms Am Yisrael for the Jews, Medinat Yisrael for the modern political state, and Eretz Yisrael for the land. So Am Yisrael must not ascend to Eretz Yisrael as a wall, meaning in force, in mass, forcefully. Am Yisrael must not rebel against the nations of the world. And this is the third one, which is that the other nations must not oppress the people of Israel, the Jews, right? Yes, there are, theologically, I think that this has been also the groundwork for a lot of other teachings. So yes, it has influenced me, but it's also not the primary reason why theologically, yes, it has impacted me. Politically, it's not necessarily the main thing that impacted me. Okay. Yeah, this is something I feel really strongly about this. And this is something that has been strong within Jewish tradition for centuries. The idea that you don't have to be Jewish to be spiritual and have a beautiful relationship with the divine. I really resent the very Christianized way a lot of Jews engage with non-Jews, where they're like, oh, well, I'm better because I have a relationship with Hashem. They do too. They're just not Jewish. The whole point is that we have to have we have to follow the mitzvahs. We are bound by the mitzvot. Other people aren't. That doesn't mean they can't also have Hashem in their own way. They are just not part of this specific group who has to. It's like being told some people have to pick up the chairs and some people have to pick up the tables. Being a table picker upper is not better than a chair picker upper. We just have different jobs. And some of us have, 613 commandments and some of us don't. Ugh. Okay, what was I saying? Do you post on Instagram perchance? Yes, I do. You probably have seen my reels. Yeah. My cursed profile picture on here. What is this profile picture? Don't know. Can't tell. It's too far away and I have bad eyesight. Yeah, I think that there's nothing wrong with attempting to or successfully integrating these beliefs. Just for me personally, those are not the ones that that align in the strongest sense when it comes to my politics. This is so cool. Oh my God. What do you mean you're based on my works? There are so many good Jewish names. Okay. We have some iconic ones like Tzipora, little bird, right? Which, by the way, Tzipora became, it was transposed into Greek. And then it came to English. Guess what it is? Sephora. Sephora is named after Tzipora. God, I love it. I love the name Michael. And I don't like the Michael. I like Michael. I think it's so beautiful. Gabriel is another very traditional one. I love Riva, Rivke, Hirsch, so cute. Herschele, little deer. I mean, obviously Asher has become so popular in the last couple of years. I loved Asher decades ago. Don't upset me. What else? Naftali is beautiful. I mean, even Zev, no offense to, not Zev Jabotinsky, but, Zev is a good one. Leo. Oh, I love Liebe. Liebe means just love, beloved. Nechama is so cute. It means comfort. It was actually my parents' nickname for me when I was a little kid. What else? I think that's like, oh my God. Sorry, I want to change topics. Sorry. This is a great question. What are my current fiction reads? I appreciate my book reads. Thank you so much. Book Rex. Thank you so much. I'm currently listening to Luster. So good. Love some weird girl fiction. Luster. I'm about to start reading The Burrow. I've been kind of on a messy sort of break from fiction because I read a really bad book and it just made me feel like, oh, I'm never going to find a good book again. But Luster has got me. I'm being saved. I really, really, really want to read, what's it called? What is it called? Oh my God, why can I not think of it? Ghost Roots. Oh, and I Love You So Much It's Killing Us Both is I'm so excited to read that one. If you have any fiction books you suggest to me, tell me immediately. I think that the idea of sort of massive religious thinkers, I mean, we have like the obvious, I think Nachmanides was huge in so many of his perspectives. I mean, Isaac Luria was massive. I really love a lot of the teachings of sort of contemporary thinkers who go back and look at these ancient thoughts through a more contemporary lens, because I think that that's going to be the best way for us to understand it, to apply it when we get it sort of filtered to us through these modern lenses. I think that even though I disagree with him on so many things, we've got obviously Maimonides, the Rambam, me, it's a love-hate relationship, me and the Rambam, because we disagree on everything, almost everything. But I am really influenced by his thought. And I'll say this, the Chabad Rabbi Schneerson, so much of, and obviously the Baal Shem Tov, right? any Hasidic thought is coming through the Baal Shem Tov. But I think that the Rebbe had a lot of ideas of what it means to be Jewish. And I want to make it so clear. The Rebbe is not the Mashiach. If you think the Rebbe is the Mashiach, that is between you and the wall, not between me and logic. Okay. I'm trying to think of who else. Oh, Frida. So cute. The Bad Book, Killing a Vibe. Oh, Lester is so good so far. I wonder how far I am through it. Let's see. What does it tell me? Let's open Libby. I love an audiobook. I am anti audiobooks. I believe in audiobooks, especially for the busy individual. Let's see. I'm about 48% of the way through Lester. It's further than I thought I was. You could add, I guess I could do that to my YouTube bio. I've just never considered doing that before. I won't lie to you. I've only recently started. Raise your hand if you found me on YouTube and you didn't know of me before that, because that, I honestly feel like that would be kind of surprising. This is the wrong account. There we go. If anyone here found me solely through YouTube, I feel like I'd be quite surprised. You know what else it is? I love saying the term. I love saying YouTube. I do. If there's anyone I think who inspires my YouTube style, it would be Mike's Mike. If you're not familiar with Mike's Mike, let me tell you, those Lost recaps, I call them propofol because I will fall asleep to it no matter what. Have you read Babel or Babel? I love Babel. It's actually interesting because as much as I loved Babel or Babel, however you want to pronounce it, I actually preferred Catabasis or Catabasis. Don't worry, you get both. I thought it was they were so good. Catabasis is quite controversial, so is Babel, but not everyone likes it. But yeah, if you are not, if you have never been introduced to R.F. Kuang's writings, I mean, what would you even start with? There's the Poppy War. There's Catabasis. I'm trying to think what else. Okay. I've just updated my YouTube bio, hopefully. Okay. Sorry. We're scrolling still. Sorry. What? I don't see. The other comment. Sorry. Jonathan Swift. I understand it's difficult to generalize, but I don't see a related comment. I have a Storygraph. My Storygraph is Tzohar. I think it's just Tzohar. Let's see what it is. I think it might just be Tzohar. But I've linked it a couple times. I do love Storygraph. Totally off topic. Our neighbor of like 10 years thought my dad was Jewish the whole time until a while ago because our ceramic starts with gold and he has a good posture. The good posture, never heard that one before. In fact, I've heard many opposite things. And gold is not uncommon, but it's not the most. I mean, there are other names and it doesn't automatically make you Jewish. That's so funny. Hey, don't worry, Jay. A lot of Jewish institutions have failed us. And that's why it's up to us to forego institutions and build. Either we can build institutions that serve us, or we can build outside of institutions. What have I decided about my hair? What have I decided? Okay, so what I've decided is I'm going to force myself to stick with this for the next. It happened on the 4th. Nope, it didn't happen on the 4th. The 5th. Whatever. I'm going to check my screen, the camera roll. We'll find out. Until August. That way I have a month to get settled. For those of you who don't know, the end of my hair is a lot darker. The tops of my hair, it looks kind of brunette in this light. Or maybe it's just the screen because this monitor isn't fantastic. But it's quite light. I'm naturally blonde. These are my natural roots. But I've been dyeing my hair brunette for a decade. and it looks strange. So until I make a decision, we're just gonna ride it out. We're gonna try until August, and then in August I can decide if I want to bleach it copper, if I want to go dark again. We'll see. Gotta wait for the right mood. That's absolutely realistic. Okay. Welcome to the stream, friend. Hello, hello. Oh, those scam accounts. Those are the bane of my existence. At least on Instagram, I'm verified now, but TikTok won't verify me. So if anyone here has any connections to newspapers or online publications that might want to write about me, that would be delightful. Therefore, I can hopefully get verified on TikTok so that people don't get scammed constantly. Okay, my YouTube, by the way, is the same as everything. All of my social media is Sohar Yacobi. So just my first and last name at whatever. So you can find me on YouTube. Honestly, I think if you just search Sohar at this point, I come up. I'm sorry, I'm looking through my TikTok comments because I am watching on here. Naftali is on my list. You know what? Naftali is so beautiful. Not as in Naftali Bennett. Ugh. See, here's the thing. There are so few Jews that if we go with a really traditional Jewish name, there's chances are there was some schmuck who's ruining it for everybody. Okay? Like, I love the name Golda. I even love the name Benjamin. But to be fair, there are many Benjamins who are terrible, not just that one. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm trying really hard to see. Oh, there's still a comment posted. Hello. I'm moving it. Sorry. I'm trying really hard to read the TikTok comments on my phone, and it's really difficult because it's just so blurry. Do I like Star Wars? I'm gonna confess something, and this is between you, me, and whatever, like 30 people are here. I have never watched Star Wars all the way through. In fact, I've only ever seen one film, and I was a child. And there was a scary scene. It wasn't actually scary. I'm pretty sure it's a wedding scene or maybe something else. All I know is it freaked me out really bad. And I've never gone back. I have, however, seen the Eddie Izzard canteen skit played out in Lego, which was just, it went triple platinum in my family's household. So I think we should all be very gentle about the fact that I have never seen it. We should also, despite the fact that I have written, my undergrad did a lot. I did a lot of writing on Tolkien because of his Christian stuff. I have never finished the Lord of the Rings series. No one throw rocks at me. No one throw tomatoes. You ever feel philosophically homeless in the modern Jewish world? No, I don't. And I know this is something that happens to a lot of people, but there is so much for us, and there is so much by us. And by us, I mean people who are leftist and spiritual and queer and trying to find something that is not this Protestant informed perspective of religion in this clear cut dirt kind of way. There is so much for us, and there's so much being created by us that I think that it's so important that we make the effort to reach out. And I know it sucks that everyone else gets to have it spoon fed to them. They get to have spoon fed to them whatever they want, right? Whether that sort of like middle of the road conservatism or liberal progressive accept Palestine or whatever. But we do have it. There are so many thinkers out there. There are so many people. I mean, if you want to go through, like, I've on my spiritual account, you know, my business account, Jewishes, if you go through my Instagram following list, you will find so many cool accounts. And the other thing is, I am not the end all be all, right? There are so many out there that you can look through their following account. You can look through their reposts and you will find something, I promise. And I understand that it can be so isolating. This is not to take away from the fact that it is really isolating, especially when, like we talked about, the institutions have failed us, right? Look, the Jewish Federation in LA does one of the most, I understand. But outside of it, there are so many things and there's so much. And I think it's really important that we just have this chutzpah that we just dig in our heels and say, we will not accept shenanigans. We're not going to accept whatever slop you're putting onto a plate for me and telling me that this is cholent. Okay. Ooh, the controversy. A lot of I love saying things in slightly different emphases. Just love throwing it out there. The controversy. I'm excited to contribute to the literature of the Jewish anti-Zionist spiritual left. Do it. You know, I rarely tell people to like start a Substack, but I think that we need more people in our community, right? We have writings like Der Specter, right? Have I seen his speech regarding BDS? No. Should I Google this? Oh, I don't want to see this. I actually really don't want to. Rahm Emanuel delivered a pointless message in Tel Aviv. Perfect. You know the thing that gets me? Do you know the long history of boycotting in Judaism? Jews have such a long history of boycotting. So it just feels so offensive. This is so funny. She knows she's live on TikTok too this time. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here last time, and thank you for being here this time. I do know I'm live on TikTok. I won't be able to check my phone very often. So if you want to leave comments that I can see, you're welcome to do them on YouTube or on Twitch. So Zohar Yacobi, same thing everywhere. You can also find them at the link in my bio. Obviously, when you publish on Substack, tag me. For those of you who can't see this, Michael will be publishing, I actually don't know if your name is actually Michael, if that's just your username, but they will be publishing an essay on Substack about understanding Marxism through the lens of Lurian Kabbalah. How exciting. See, I can't even see things on, the reason I can't do it on my phone, by the way, this is what it looks like. It's just, there's so much happening. I cannot see it. I have Substack, but I can't find any good spiritual takes on it from Christians. I mean, Jewish is a Substack, so though I haven't published in ages because I've been so busy with so many projects and also just regular work. I told myself that I would be better about promoting myself. So if you're here and you like my content and you want to support me, I do have a Patreon. Patreon is a way you can support me for $2 a month at the lowest tier. And you do get behind the scenes content. If you like any sort of, if you like basic learning, like fun Yiddish phrases, every single week, every Monday, I publish a Yiddish phrase or a curse. Sometimes we do Ladino, we throw it in there. And that has been going on for like 2 years. So when you sign up, you get all the back content. And you get a bunch of like thoughts, other things. So you can also subscribe on Substack. I don't do any exclusive content on Substack, but Patreon I do. That's /Jewishes. But yeah. Cool. Okay. Skin is glowing. Thank you so much. It's called being sweaty. Actually, though, I did want to talk to you guys about skincare because I love skincare. And I think we're in a very interesting point where skincare is not just slightly political, it is overtly political. One, in the sense that the idea of skincare for anti-aging is a complicated topic in the sense that most of us are doing anti-aging because of heteropatriarchy. But also in the sense that the companies that make our skincare are overtly political when they donate millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars directly to governments and super PACs. I'm glad you're trying to connect. There's so much, even if you're not religious or spiritual, there's so much cultural traditions. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, there was someone who commented something earlier, but I need to go back up. Where is it? Where was it? Uh-oh. Oh, they said something and now I can't see your comment. Uh-oh. Okay. How do I deal with liberal Zionists or people in the J Street sphere? I mean, I don't. Really. I mean, I don't know. I think it's, you can engage as little or as much as you want to. I just don't really find myself in those positions. And if I do, I just say what I want to say and get out. Like, it's just, I don't know. I feel like maybe I might be more prepared to be the politically oppositional person in a room because I've been politically oppositional since I was a child. The second I understood what politics was, I was like, and now what? So you're making this uncomfortable. Why? Why is it uncomfortable for you to confront this? Oh, you don't like what I had to say? Oh, no. I mean, I was a child who I got told constantly that I would make a good lawyer, and I'm the eldest daughter. So it just never occurred to me that I couldn't make the room uncomfortable with what I said. Which obviously not everyone can take that space. If you need to be safe, you need to be safe. Obviously, I want to make it clear if that person seems like they are dangerous to you or someone else. Obviously, that being said. Okay. Do you have any thoughts on Jewish Sufi pietism? I do not see much discussion of it on the internet. Much more composed of non-translated print books. We have a lot of really interesting history of crossover between Jewish and Sufi mystics, especially in Safed, right? Historically, Safed and Haifa and Hebron were amazing crossover sections because they weren't divided. We're talking pre-Zionist Palestine. Oh, by the way, Dark Forest Gengar, welcome back. And thoughts on the reconstruction of Hebrew in regards to the creation of the Israeli identity, all of that will be coming in the video on Yiddish, Palestinian Yiddish. So the structure of the video right now for Palestinian Yiddish is as follows. Let me pull it up so I can give you a little bit of everyone who's here, all 25 of you are all getting a special sort of preview. So I have sections. We have the first part, which is what is Yiddish? Basic explanation of Yiddish. We have Ashkenazic Hebrew, which is important to understand because Ashkenazic Hebrew is a dialect of Hebrew that is still used today, and it is disdained heavily by modern Israeli Hebrew speakers, including myself. I was a child who believed it. I grew up with the same disdain for it. That's something I unlearned and changed as I grew. Yeah. Then we have the hatred, the context for the hatred of Yiddish. And so in order to understand the context, we have early Zionist, we have anti-Jewish conspiracy theories and bigotry, internalization of anti-Jewish ideologies. And then we have Ben Yehuda, Eliezer Ben Yehuda, who is the guy who revived Hebrew. We go into a little bit of deep dive on him because he's important in this. And then we have, after we understand why did they hate it? Why would they want to get rid of it? Why would they want to get rid of Hebrew or Yiddish as a whole? Why would they want to implement Hebrew? How did they implement Hebrew? What was happening as they implemented it? Then we talk about Palestinian Yiddish. And then we talk about what was happening to it. Where did it go? And is it actually dead? Then we have a really interesting one where we're going to deep dive into newspapers, because newspapers and periodicals are a fantastic way to document the change of language and the ideas of the time. And then we talk about Yiddish, Palestinian Yiddish as it exists today, because big news, guys, Palestinian Yiddish does still exist today. And then where is the next section? There's another section, which is where did I put it? Where is it? We have a section entitled, But It Wasn't Just Yiddish, where we're talking about other Jewish languages and other languages in the time. So that actually happens right after newspapers, because we're talking about Ladino, Turkish, Judeo-Arabic. We're talking about Hakatiya, which is a dialect of Ladino, but it was mostly spoken in Maghreb, right? We got mostly in Morocco, in Algeria, and Tunisia. We have discussions about the fetishization and the exoticization of specifically Yemeni Jews who were simultaneously fetishized and exoticized and held up. They're like, oh, their Hebrew is the most authentic version of Hebrew because we think they kept the most biblical pronunciations. But also, they are not worthy of leading anything because they are barbarians, which is a horrific perspective held by a lot of the leaders at the time. So yeah, we are currently, I think we're at like 13,000 words, a lot more coming in. I started transcribing the quotations and the areas that I wanted to from Yael Haber's book, who I posted the video about today. She is a PhD professor at Berkeley and research fellow who talks about it. So yeah, that was a lot. Let's go back to these comments. I'm so glad to be on your favorite platform. Skincare is so political. Oh no. Which one was it? Topicals has an amazing one. It's in an aluminum tube. Jules, thank you so much for becoming a patron. I hope that you're in the live stream so you can hear me say that. For those of you who don't know, I have a Patreon. I think I plugged it like 10 minutes ago, so we're doing it again. Patreon/Jewwitches. You can start at $2 a month, $5 a month, $10, $26. And I think when is it $36? $36, you get a coupon for my website every month. Okay. I would love to read a Substack on how being Assyrian shaped your perspective. Do it. Yes, important. Whoa, I just realized I'm not going to do it to you, I promise. I just realized I clicked the little 3 buttons. I can put people in timeouts. Do you have any advice and resources for learning Yiddish? Sure. There are great ways to learn the Aleph base. There are lots of places online. Yivo is amazing. They have so many resources. Cameron Bernstein does a lot of it online as well. And it's going to sound crazy. You can be like, there's no one in my area. Look in your area for local Yiddish communities. There are so many more than you think. There are Yiddish circles. If there are Yiddish circles in Wyoming, there's like 7 people in Wyoming. They've got Yiddish. I wrote my capstone essay on the development of Yiddish. That's incredible. Would I ever talk about Kol Yisha? Sure, I can. I'd like to. I always laugh because I don't know if y'all can. If you're watching on TikTok, you probably can't see this, but if you're watching landscape, see this back there? That was a gift I got. It's a giant Snoopy, but he has a hat with payas, so he's Jewish Snoopy. Joopy, if you will. I know you come from an Israeli family, but have you been to Palestine, as in the West Bank, or yeah, the message. The messages and comments so I get from your last Instagram is crazy. Yeah, it's not fun. First Aid Beauty isn't on the BDS list because I have been a lover of that exact cream for years. It's one of my favorites. Okay, here's my recommendation because I do actually love the First Aid Beauty one. I've used 3 of their mega tubs. That means I actually have to go because I'm pretty sure I have some promotions of it on my Instagram, TikTok, so I need to go take that down. For the Ultra Repair Cream, this brand here is Dieux. DIEUX. Charlotte Palomino is their founder. This is their Instant Angel. No, this is Air Angel. This is their hydrating gel. Their other one is Instant Angel. It is much more expensive, but you need so little. It's also in an aluminum tube. This is the small side. There is a larger size. Fantastic. So good. I love it so much. Topicals is also amazing. And I'm trying to think of anything else. I probably have because I love them. Best cleanser for oily skin. I am not equipped to talk about oily skin because I do not have oily skin. My favorite cleansers are the one from this brand that I don't, where is it? It's Mix Soon. It's a Korean skincare brand. I don't have it here. It's amazing. I also like the Peach Lily one, their peach one. And then I also am a big fan of the Baleo one. That's only in Germany, so I don't know if it's helpful to you. I'm Cynthia and study Kabbalah. Have you ever noticed any parallels with Romani mystical traditions like tarot, or are they completely different? Tarot, there are very few crossovers. It's something that my friends and I have a number of Romani friends, and we love to sit there and be like, we have a lot of similarities when it comes to the concept of things like cleanliness and uncleanliness. Kabbalistically, we're going to be slightly different. But in like Jewish folk tradition and generic tradition, as in not a specifically Kabbalistic tradition, there are so many similarities: cleanliness, uncleanliness, use of animals, the way that we experience animals in the sense of spirituality, evil eye, keeping like superstitions, old wives' traditions, very similar. Oh, I just looked down. The tube does not come with the little heart key. This was gifted to me by a friend who said she got it on Etsy because I was fetching. I am an aluminum tube lover. I love aluminum tubes. I grew up with aluminum tubes. Yeah, I love these so much. These little keys, but Dieux actually did something so cool. Okay, I'm a big fan of Dieux because Charlotte Palomino, their founder, is one of the most transparent, not only skincare founders, but also transparent about the chemistry behind it, right? She talks a lot about their formulator, who is also public, but also she talks a lot about sustainability, greenwashing, things like the Yucca app, which are just bonkers. Will be like, this is bad for you. And it's like, well, it would only be bad for you if you are a rat and you were force fed it 400 times a day. You putting it on your nose, not a problem, babes. It's not bad for you. But what they did is they actually, you know, those paint squeezing tubes, like paint squeezing apparatuses, instead of just duping it and making their own, they do sell squeeze keys, but they also sell they collaborated with the original paint ringing tube people who make them all here in the US, I'm pretty sure. And they have it on their website, which I think is so kind. Amazing. Is there an option to turn on live subtitles? There is not, as far as I know, with the system I'm using. I unfortunately, yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. No, I don't have that option yet. Why the hell is there a Polymark thing? Ugh. I hate it. I hate it so much. Oh, okay. Wow, I've been live for almost an hour and I feel like I haven't talked about a single thing. I feel like I haven't covered ground on anything. I've just been running my mouth about random things. Let's go on Threads, see what Threads is up to. If you have topic requests or questions, I found, this is so funny. I found you through your Christmas tree series. I'm pagan. So at first I was like, what is she talking about? Then I saw your sources and I was like, that's so good. I love it. The Christmas trees aren't pagan is I'm so proud of that because it was such a pain in the butt. And also people are really mean and really, 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 really silly. People are horrible and evil cows about it. And they were like, you evil Jew, how dare you side with the evil Christians? And I'm like, I'm not siding with the Christians. I'm siding against the Nazis. And they're like, oh, so all pagans are Nazis? I mean the literal Nazis of the Nazi regime, of the Third Reich. Oh, that was crazy. That was a crazy time. People are still getting mad at me about that, by the way. I still get comments sometimes. They're like, how dare you? How dare you? Let's see. I feel like I missed comments. If you're watching on TikTok, as a reminder, I am streaming through Twitch or YouTube. I'm doing both, actually. And so you can leave comments there. If you would like to, if you want me to see them. What is wrong with my brain at times? I did actually write down some things I wanted to talk about. Okay. Raise your hand if you saw my post on Instagram, on my Instagram story about It's Ginger Theory. For those of you who don't know, Instagram stories, I have 112,000 followers on Instagram. Insane number, by the way. Oh, and someone said they like my top. Thank you so much. It's actually part of a matching set. You can't even see it. It's a matching set. It's adorable. I love it so much. They recently added it to the TikTok shop, and I linked it in my TikTok shop if you want to buy it and give me a commission. It's so comfortable. I've worn it about 1 million times, and I will continue to wear it until it's one thread left on my body. Okay, back to what I was saying. I have about 112,000 followers on TikTok. Nope, on Instagram. My stories gets to, I would say, I think the max that's ever seen my stories was 20,000 people. I ironically, when my dad died. And here it is. You want to know why? You want to know why? It's because the views on an Instagram story directly relate, in my experience, to the number of responses, like messages that people send, which is crazy. So when I wanted to protect my peace a little bit harder because I was just dealing with so much and it was just so much, I turned off my story replies. I shot down to about 2,000 views per story, if that, which is crazy. So if you want to support your favorite content creator through their stories and through their accounts, there is literally nothing better that you can do than comment. Usually on posts on Instagram, it's 6 comments, like 6 words or more. But if you respond to people's Instagram stories, it helps. Instagram decides if other people should see it, which is crazy because it should be chronological. And yet it's not. So my story, I posted about it because it drives me absolutely bonkers. I started hearing about the It's Ginger Theory person about 2 days ago. I don't know their name. I don't want to know their name. I don't know if they've even made their name public, or I think they just call themselves Ginger. They have a profile picture of a cat. They wear a mask. I believe her pronouns are she, her. This person is vehemently bigoted. They are promoting literal neo-Nazi conspiracy theories. I believe they went onto a self-professed neo-Nazis podcast, and a lot of people have DM'd me because I made a post about it being like, hey, I just want y'all to know too many leftists, too many people who claim to have progressive values, who claim to have liberatory values are following this person. They are posting literal Islamophobic and anti-Jewish conspiracy theories, like the idea that Muhammad the prophet was actually Satan and therefore they are worshiping Satan. And that Jews are actually worshiping Saturn, who is just Satan, which is literally, by the way, we talked about it last week, a medieval peasant conspiracy theory. This is medieval bigotry. Okay. They also were like, oh, it's the Star of Remphan. Not a thing, babes. That's not what the Star of David is, not the Star of Remphan. The Star of David also does not indicate that we worship Saturn. Jews don't worship Saturn. That is, again, a medieval conspiracy theory. And the reality is, It's Ginger has talked about a lot of important things like the Epstein files, which are horrific. And guess what? Yeah, a lot of people involved, like Epstein himself, were Jewish. It's horrific and disgusting and deplorable. It does not mean that Jews are sacrificing Iranian children to Saturn via U.S. drone strikes murdering children, or Israeli drone strikes murdering Iranian school children, which is, again, something they posted, that it was a blood sacrifice, the murder of Iranian schoolgirls. I mean, I think it is so atrocious. And ever since I found out about them, I posted, I was like, hey, and you know what? I think it's really important. If you see someone following them, what do? Do you just sit there and go, man, that sucks? No, you DM them or you comment. And if you're nervous to do it, guess what? I'm much more nervous that someone is falling down the alt-right pipeline into Christian Nazism. Like, it is a great book, by the way. There are some problems with it because there's problems with many books. And Joshua Trachtenberg died before he could revise some of his theories, including that of like the witch craze, which is actually kind of a big part of this book. But it's a good book nonetheless. There's a lot of great citations if you can cross-reference them. Anyway, so that story, remember how we started this talking about Instagram stories? That Instagram story, which normally I would say mine normally get between like 8 and 10,000 is my average, maybe like 6 to 10,000, depending, right? Which is kind of a big jump. That one only got 4,000 views in 24 hours. Way lower than normal, even though I got 45 to 60 DMs just on that story alone. And it got 37, 45 reshares. It was 37 last I checked, 45, I'm assuming now. And here's the thing, and I really don't mean to be mean. I don't want to be mean. A lot of people were like, oh, I didn't realize it was anti-Semitic. You didn't realize that the claim that Jews worship Satan You didn't understand that the claim that Muslims worship Satan was Islamophobic? I worry when that is that. Not to mention, I also got a bunch of DMs. Mind you, I told you I only discovered this person like a couple days ago. I'm not familiar with their content. I'm not familiar with their antics. They have also done some horrendously racist things, horrific racist, horrific justification of ICE violence, brutality, and murder, horrific anti-Black racism, just awful. So when people are like, "Oh man, I couldn't tell." Okay, just tuned in. What's going on? This is called kvetching. If anyone has any comments, by the way, you're welcome to leave them on TikTok. Not TikTok. Don't leave them on TikTok. I can't see TikTok. YouTube or Twitch is the place to go. But yeah, that's what I was talking about. I think it's really dangerous. And I have received so many, because I published what I call a macro. Macro is a term to refer to, a copy and paste thing that you can like sort of fill in the blanks, right? Sort of like a Mad Lib. I have macros for so many things. In my notes app, I have a whole notes app tab that is just called macros, and it's common responses to either comments or questions I get on social media. So I can tell you some of them, right? For example, this one is, why don't you let me download your content? And it's a whole thing. So I intentionally don't make my content downloadable because I believe in moderating the spaces around my content. You can also find my stuff over on Instagram if you want to share it. That's usually for TikTok. I don't like people downloading my content and posting it other places. I hate when I see people reposting my content without permission, because I would not give them permission unless it's a really reputable site that moderates their comments. I randomly saw my own TikTok. I saw my video posted on YouTube. 700 comments. Was there any moderation? No. Was I being called, direct words, a fat sow? Yeah, I was. Were there anti-Semitic comments? Were there horrible, horrible Islamophobic comments? Yep. Was there any moderation? Nope. I do my best to moderate my comment sections. I try so hard. Things obviously slip through the cracks, but I try my best. And I don't believe that people who are reposting my content will try as hard as I do. And that's why I don't want them doing it, because I don't want to be associated with that shenanigans. Then I have one that goes like, do you think it's a genocide? Which is a comment I get a lot. And so I say, yeah, because I believe and listen to the expertise of organizations like the Lemkin Institute of Genocide Prevention, of the Lemkin who coined the term genocide in the first place, Genocide Watch, Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, Médecins Sans Frontières, the UN, ECCHR, and literally dozens more. Not to mention that I grew up hearing the genocidal rhetoric of many of my community, which is true. If they say we need to bomb all of Gaza and get rid of the Palestinians, that's genocide. This one is for the term ZIO, Z-I-O. By the way, the shortened version was popularized by David Duke of the KKK, so I suggest using the full version. If you're going to say Zionist, say Zionist. No need to use the 3-letter word. It's not going to stop you to type out those other letters. We have a chaotic witch on. Hello. Hi, dear friend. Welcome in. Yeah, Dark Forest Gengar, you are correct. The important thing that I remember is that regardless of any of that, it's because they're awful people, not because of any religion. There are terrible people in every single group of people on the planet, because terribleness is something that humans are capable of regardless of anything else. It doesn't matter what identity they have. It doesn't matter what experiences they've had. Having suffered does not make you automatically a good person. And so I think it's really important that you remember that badness can happen to anyone at any point. It's choices they make. And, that's the reality of it. Yeah. Oh, well, sorry, Twitch. I've said it many a time. Hello, Frankie. The iconic chaotic witch aunt is here, which is kind of... This one was really annoying because I get this one a lot where they're like, all Jews are just European. Well, that's just not true. Again, you have let ideology stop your critical thinking. The idea that all Jews are European is it's just not true. We need to stay ideologically intellectually honest, because it's simply untrue. It's like saying, the other comment that always gets me, they're like, not everyone in Israel all has dual citizenship. And it's like, no, at most it's 20%, which is still quite high, but that's just not true. I mean, why can't we just be intellectually honest? Don't really understand that one. Oh, yeah. The claim of the Holocaust was white on white genocide. Yeah. Oh no. It should be in your settings, in your Google settings. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Anyway. How's everyone doing? Is it still unbearably warm where you are? It's still obscenely hot. I'm schwitzing. Oh, guys, it went down 3 degrees. It's now 94 degrees at 7:05 p.m. I'm literally schwitzing. Look how shiny I am. Ugh. My AC's been going all day. My AC is working triple time. Sorry to the planet. It's winter here in Aotearoa, and the sun was still very warm today when I was like, oh, it's wild. 94 degrees. I know. My dance studio's AC broke. Oh, good God. 66 in your office. I crave that. It was a cool 65 in the shop today. I kept the door closed. If you're ever in Los Angeles, Southern California, and you want to come by the shop, just know that we keep it cool. Okay. Door is closed. You can come in, but you're going to close that door behind you. My city is rainy and 64. You're just living the dream, aren't you? I don't have a pre-existing post because the range of books is so wide on the topics. So most of these books are on Judaism, but there's so many different topics that I need to know sort of the niche. Yeah, I am very heat sensitive. This is bad. I told myself I would live stream, and so I'm doing it. I'm trying really hard. I'm trying so hard here. Oh, wait, I forgot I can do this. I think I figured it out last time. How did I do it? Okay, wait, how do I go to Twitch? Twitch.tv. Oh, random question. Have you studied Kabbalah in depth? I read somewhere that in Jewish tradition, you only get once you're 40. Thank you so much for asking because I love this topic. I've actually filmed a video on this before and I did post it. I posted it last year before I started posting my face again. For those of you who don't know, I posted my face for a number of years and then I had to take about 2 years off where I posted faceless content. I didn't put my face on the internet for a long time. So just didn't. And so that video is 7 minutes long. It's very good though. You should watch it, even though my face is not in it. So one of the cool things is Kabbalah is not some sort of like segregated thing off to the side, cut off from Judaism. If you are involved in a Hasidic or Sephardic community, chances are Kabbalah is just part of daily life. And that might sound confusing when you think of Kabbalah as a solely mystical, esoteric tradition of deep, scary rituals of, intense study, but it's also just literally part of everyday life, right? We have the concept of tikkun olam, repairing the world, not in the sense of like just social justice, but in the sense of the literal mystical reparation of the world. And one of the things that we do is when we engage with the mitzvot, when we follow a mitzvah, we are removing the klipot, which are the shells that cover the sfirot, the sephirot in English. I hate that term, sfirot, right? And the sfirot are these emanations, divine emanations. And one of the ways that my parents would say, they'd say, reveal the light, right? When they would want us to do something kind, a good deed, an act that brings us closer to God, they would say, reveal the light. If I wanted to sit shotgun, but so did my sister, my mom would say, reveal the light, let your sister have it. Because it was just, and that was literally referring to this Kabbalistic concept. I was born during the counting of the Omer. My birthday's in Iyar, the Jewish month of Iyar. And so I learned about Gevurah, the Gevurah, which are divine emanations as a kid. I learned about the shattering of the vessels. I learned about all of these Kabbalistic concepts at a very young age because it's age appropriate. I didn't study Kabbalah, but I listened to the rabbi give speeches, give Dvar Torah, give all these conversations about Kabbalah because that's what it is to be part of a Jewish community where Kabbalah just is. It's not some like secret thing behind the door. And I think it's really important that we understand that the reason we think it's some secret thing behind the door is because of the Christian perspective, right? Who are the Christian traditional, right, monks, the priests? Until the Reformation, they weren't getting married. They didn't have families. They were segregated into monasteries. Jewish men were never like that. Jewish scholars were not like that. Yeah, we had a couple hermits here and there, but they were family men. They were home raising their children when they weren't in the Beis Midrash studying, right? And the idea of you have to be 40 to study Kabbalah comes from a line that says it gives all these different ages for when you do things, right? So at 3, you do this. At 5, you learn the Aleph base. At 10, you learn Torah. At whatever, you learn Gemara. You learn Midrash. At 18, you learn the chuppah, right? The wedding canopy. And like you get married. You learn family life, blah, blah, blah. And at 40, wisdom. And wisdom is interpreted as Kabbalah. But here's the thing. Some of the greatest Kabbalistic scholars died at like 42. No one was actually following that. It was this idea that there are certain ages in life when you are ready and settled, you take these things on. And studying Kabbalah for these rabbis was not what we do. It was not 5 minutes of Duolingo, 20 minutes of reading, listening to a podcast or a Substack. We're talking 12-hour days in the Beis Midrash, study, reading. You are talking to people. This is like you're talking to your rabbi, you're listening. Just like, this is not like a fun little hobby. This is your job. And it's not an 8-hour shift. It's a 12-hour shift. Good luck, babe. Like, so I think it's really difficult for us to conceptualize these scholars in the modern era when we're taking their discussion and bringing it here. This idea that you can only study Kabbalah after 40 is kind of a myth because it's a misunderstanding of what was said and also why it was said and how it was said and by whom and for whom it was said. That being said, all of that being said, I have studied Kabbalah, but it's not my primary focus. My primary focus as both a scholar and a practitioner is Jewish folk magic. Kabbalah was often the realm of men. Obviously, it came into the home. I just discussed how much it would come into our home life and into our folk magic, but folk magic is my primary focus. So Kabbalah is amazing. There's a lot of incredible work of Kabbalah that has been integrated into the practices of women, the folk practices, but it's just not my primary focus. To answer your question from good Lord, like 20 minutes ago. Okay. How long was that? How long did that take me to do all that? I can't even see the comment anymore. Well, that's fine. Whew. Any other questions? How long have I been live for? 1 hour and 13 minutes. Okay. Hello, all 29 people. How's everyone doing? Any opinion or fun facts about King David and his relevance in Jewish folk magic? Yeah. There are certain discussions about whether or not you should invoke King David to speak on your behalf in front of God. That's a fun Jewish tradition of asking for intercession on your behalf by sainted and holy ancestors. I love your rants. Thank you. I love a good rant. Ranting and raving, kvetching and quelling. Those are my strengths. I probably didn't see it. I get a lot of DMs, and also Instagram likes to hide DMs from me. If you have a question that's more of a long form question, the ask box on my website is a good place to do it. Though I won't lie to you, I'm kind of inundated. So if I don't get back to you, it's not you. It's probably me. How do I feel about the veneration of Lilith by those outside the religion? The veneration of Lilith is, personally, I just find it strange. I find it to be anachronistic, and I have yet to encounter someone who worships or venerates Lilith that is able to fully contend with how their veneration requires the denigration and disregarding of Jewish tradition and Jewish history while simultaneously taking from it. I don't know if that actually made sense, but I hope it did, and I hope it answered the question. I mean, honestly, okay. It depends on who we're talking about, because every person is different, every tradition is different, and how a lot of people do it is different. So some people do it in, one way, some people do it another way. Most of the time, I just find it to be sort of misguided because, oh yeah, by the way, hey, I published an article on Lilith. I need y'all to have your names in your username so I can say hi to you, like specifically, and talk to you. Okay, lilith.org/origins. By the way, it was a fight to get that username, that URL. I was like, let's do it. How do I put it on the screen? Can I put it on the screen? No, we're just going to do it this way. I'm going to share it. For those of you who haven't read it, it is the article I wrote on Lilith, full discussion. So, is there nothing divine in monstrosity? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff on Lilith that's from Judaism, right? The idea that she is couples with Samael. That's from Kabbalah. There's a lot of random stuff that, like the idea that she has red hair, the idea that she has long unbound hair, right? These are all things that come from the Jewish tradition. And I get so mad when there are people who are, it drives me up the wall when I see the people who are selling courses on Lilith or selling books on how to venerate Lilith. And you open it up and you look for their citations, you look for their bibliography. Zilch, nada, nothing. You know what it is? I made it up. I said this on TikTok, but I'm unfortunately I'm watching you. Well, I'm so glad you were able to learn. We have many Jewish languages. There are literally dozens. Okay, we have Yiddish, we have Ladino, and Ladino has its own dialects. Yiddish also has its own dialects. Aramaic, right? We have Judeo-Arabic, which had many different dialects depending on where you were living. There's Judeo-Farsi, which is Persian. There's Bukhari, which is another Persian language. There are Turkish Jewish languages. There's Italian. There's Judeo-Italian, Judeo-French. There's so many ones. Everyone go read the article. Yeah, my favorite Red Bull flavor is not this one. This is Juneberry. I like the white peach, and I like the vanilla berry one. And I love the Sudachi lime, but not the sugar-free. And I cannot have that much sugar in a day because it will make my blood sugar go wild. But the Sudachi lime is really, really, really yummy. I'm trying to think of anything else I like. Yeah. Ay. Your Spanish pronunciation was so good. You just entendí nada. Muchas gracias. Yo estudio español por 7 años y la familia de mi esposo hablamos en español. Es la primera lenguaje de mi suegra. Spanish is such a beautiful language. I love Spanish, and it has such good words. There is nothing. We have to talk more about the influence of Italian Jews in general, because the Italian Jews did so much. And sorry, Italy. First of all, you know that one of the very first mentions of a flat dough being covered with tomato sauce was in Hebrew? was the first pizza invented by Jews in Italy? Could be, babes. Could be. It wasn't Italy, by the way. It was by an Italian Jew. As in the mention of the flat dough with tomato sauce on it. There's a really good book. Where is it? Uh-oh. Where did I put it? Well, I don't remember where I put it, but it's about the Jews of in the Medici court. By the way, 2 other really good books. Man, I wonder who wrote these. Available on my website and on literally everywhere in the entire world. Even available in other languages. Man, I simply don't remember where I put the other book. But yeah, Matzo Pizza coming before regular pizza would be iconic. Pretty sure it did. You know what's interesting, by the way, when tomatoes were brought to Europe, because tomatoes not native to Italy, they are from the Americas. That's the shape of the Americas, in case you're wondering. She's very voluptuous. The tomatoes are part of the nightshade family. Nightshades can be quite toxic. And so a lot of European peasants were like, poison. So they would feed them to, it was a lower income thing when they started propagating and planting them. And so who ate them a lot? Jews ate them a lot. Jews ate them a lot. Yeah, a lot of Jews were eating tomatoes. Do you want to know something really, 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 really sad? Devastating, actually. During the Spanish Inquisition, so for context, Jews are historically associated with garlic. Okay. Now we hear garlic, we often think of Italy, right? Italian food, right? No, it was Jews who were historically associated with garlic. So much so that we were often called garlic eaters. I have a whole article on this, by the way, Jews and garlic. You're welcome to go read it. And during the Spanish Inquisition, one of the ways that they would say someone was still practicing Judaism in secret. So again, they kicked all the Jews out. They said, either you convert to Catholicism or you got to get out or we'll kill you. And so a lot of Jews were like, well, we can't even leave. Okay, I guess I have to be Catholic now. I don't really want to be Catholic. I guess I'll just stay a Jew, but I'll tell everyone I'm Catholic. And the Catholics were like, not good enough, Buster. Not good enough. So I'm going to watch you. Are you lighting candles on Friday night? Jew. Are you using olive oil instead of pig fat? Jew. Are you, by any chance, not eating the rabbit paella with pork in it? Jew. And then in Italy, Spain, Portugal, they also were like, are you using a lot of garlic in your food? Jew. Are you frying your garlic and your onions? Jew. Yeah, crazy. Crazy. Yeah, I think about that a lot. I really do. Just the way that Jews and garlic. Can I see my own live stream? You're live, managed stream. I can. I'm on the back end of Twitch for one of the very first times ever. Whoa, there's so many things happening. Whoa. Everything is. Oh, I can clip it too. I forgot I can do that. How do I make someone else do that for me? They hate Jews so much they wouldn't even eat garlic. Do you know how depressing that is? Do you know how much you have to hate Jews to not eat garlic? No, we just love garlic. Garlic's an aphrodisiac, babes. That's why you're supposed to be. That's why you're supposed to eat garlic on Fridays, because Friday is the day to get down and dirty. In case you didn't know that, by the way, in Judaism, it is considered a good deed to get sexy on Fridays. Technically within the bounds of marriage, but the act of getting sexy is one way to be in the bound of marriage, also according to Judaism. So, though it needs witnesses, so that's kind of a thing. Unless you're a voyeur. It's just that Alex Jones clip. By the way, I didn't know how to block that one. When I made my video about Shavalu Village, do you guys remember that? Raise your hand if you remember Shavalu Village. How many people are here? I cannot tell. It was on my TikTok. So if there's people watching from TikTok, let me look down. Let me open a TikTok app. Okay, let's look at TikTok. Okay, there are like 11 people here. Hello from TikTok. Are you familiar with the Shavalu Village situation? There was a guy who went up to a bunch of random Jews. They're Hasidic. They're not Chabad though, because you can tell because they have payas. And They're like, can I have $1? And the guys are like, sorry, I don't have any. The guy turns, he's filming, mind you. And there's just 3 people in the street, random. And then he turns and he goes, how do I get to Shavalu Village? And they go, huh? And they look at him and they're like, what? And then they go back to ignoring him. And some guy stitches it and he's like, I'm a conspiracy theorist. What's the Shavalu Village? Where are they hiding it? Here's the thing. He didn't actually say Shavalu Village. He tried to say Chabad Lubavitch, but he instead pronounced the CH as a sh. And so he said Shabbat. And then instead of saying Lubavitch, he said Lubavitch. So it sounded like Shabbat Lubavitch. Shabbat Lubavitch. Shavalu Village. And mind you, they're so clearly not Chabad, because Chabad don't do payas. Payas being the side locks, the curly side locks you see, that's not the Chabad interpretation. The reason, by the way, that payas are a thing is from the line in the Torah that says you shall not shave the corners of your head. Your head doesn't have a corner. Are you talking about the tip of your chin maybe? I don't know. That's my personal interpretation. But the payas is one interpretation where you should keep these. And then it became not just about keeping the commandment. It also became about being clear about your communal association, like who you're associated with, right? And the curliness is a stylistic choice. It's also a way of like grooming. It's a communal aesthetic choice. And there's when we was talking about someone, I was talking with someone about this on Threads. They mentioned like it's the sort of the kavod of it is right, like the strength and the intensity you put into it, the soul you're putting into keeping a commandment, right? Goodbye, Dark Forest Ganger. Everyone say goodbye. They were so helpful last week, helping me figure everything out. So we're all going to say thank you and goodbye. See you next time. But yeah, so they're clearly not Chabad. Asking them like, how can I get into Chabad? It's I always say it's kind of like you went up to a group of very clearly Catholic nuns and said, how do we get to the Mormon temple? Like obviously they'll look confused, right? Obviously they won't be understanding why you're asking that of them. So, you know, why would I want animated emojis to be disabled? What the hell is a raid channel? Stream together. No, thank you. Manage goals. Ooh, manage goals. Okay, my goal is of 120 followers. Start goal. Does it say anywhere? Bye. I love that you're all doing it. How sweet. I, by the way, just figured out. I already have written an article about it, except I don't talk about Roma because the point of the article, I mean, I do actually mention it in the very beginning of the article, but it's about how the witch trials were systematically and thematically based on previous persecution of Jews. It's called The Jews and the Witch Craze. I believe it's available on Substack. I think it's on my Jewish's Substack. Where are you watching? You're watching on YouTube. Let me see if I can find it and put it in the comments. Except I can't. It's not letting me. I wonder, actually, okay. Can use, why is it, why are we not typing? Okay, you let me know. Oh yeah, you can see it. Okay, great. Oh, I didn't realize I could do that. How exciting. Okay, Jews and the Witch Craze, Substack. There's also a podcast version of it. So if you want that, you can listen to it over on Spotify, Apple, Google, wherever you listen to the podcast Apple app. You can listen and do that wherever you want. Now that I know that I can put things in my comments, Lilith.org/origins. Oh, my stream rate is unstable, it says. Sorry, guys. I didn't know that. There's so many things on the side. I really don't want this. Edit layout. Yeah, I don't like this one. That was a lot. That was better. Oh, cool. Oh, okay, save. Okay. Save. Create layout. I have 107 subscribers or followers on Twitch. Wow. I'm so close to my 120 goal. That's crazy. What does no, I lost the part that I wanted to. How do I see this? I don't remember Hey Alma's article, except for the fact that I'm pretty sure they used my citations. Let's see. I'm not accusing them. I don't know for sure. Oh, I'm schwitzing. I need to open the door. Hey, Alma mentioned me. Oh, I'm schwitzing. It's so warm. What class did they teach recently? Okay. Does mainstream Judaism condemn the use of witchcraft? I just wonder where the line between spiritual practice and witchcraft is drawn. Wherever you want it to. Wherever you want to. Witchcraft is a cultural concept. So for those of you who don't know, by the way, on my website, jewwitches.com, I have an introduction to Jewish magic lecture. It's about an hour and a half, 2 hours long. You can buy the recording of it, and then it's just me on Zoom chit-chatting with people going through. One of the first questions I ask is, what is witchcraft, right? How do we decide what is witchcraft versus what is tradition, what is superstition, what is spiritual, what is mystical, right? And I give an example of, there's a woman, she lights a candle, says a prayer for healing, and she invokes a sainted figure, right? Is that magic? Is it witchcraft? Is it religion? If she's a Catholic woman and she's invoking an archangel and she's praying to Jesus, we'd probably call it religion. But if it was a pagan who was invoking as an ancestor and was asking for healing in the name of, let's say, Freya, we'd probably call it witchcraft. And in Judaism, we often heal and ask in the name of holy ancestors, in the name of Abraham. We ask the angels, especially Raphael and Uriel, to provide healing, right? We ask them to provide protection. Where is the line? How do we draw the line? I mean, we think about some of our witchy traditions in Judaism, right? One that's really popular is kaparis, right? Kaparot, the idea of the symbolic transfer of sin into either an animal or into money, direct money, right? For those of you who don't know, before Yom Kippur, we have a tradition of, historically, it would be used with, you use a live bird. We would take a chicken, and the chicken is swung over the heads of a family. Sometimes it's one bird per family. Sometimes it's one bird per person. So a cock for a boy, and then a hen for a female. And it would be swung above their heads, and then it's donated. And that body, the chicken, is then eaten, is slaughtered, and then given to the poor. And this is a symbolic gesture of the removal of our sins that we are repenting for, that we are asking for forgiveness for, and that we are dedicating ourselves to doing better for in the new year. A sort of substitution for a live bird is that of just using money, using literally like $100 bill. Some people do 200, some people do 300 for it. And some people get really upset about this because they don't understand that it's a symbolic transfer, and that it doesn't actually, you are not free of sin by doing it. You're not free of sin by performing kaparis. That's not what that does. And I think some people think of it in the Christian idea of what it means to be free of sin, right? You can go to a priest and ask for, you can repent and God forgives you. In Judaism, there are sins against yourself, there are sins against another, and then there are sins against God. God can only forgive you for the sins against God. God cannot forgive you for hurting someone else. God can't forgive you if you screw someone over, or if you harm someone and they don't forgive you. God can't forgive you for it. God can't make peace for you. God cannot wipe that away from you. It's not possible because that's not what God does, because God was not necessarily the one you harmed with the choices you made. Is there a cat in here? Hi, Mr. Baby. You want to come say hi? Do you want to say hi to the people? Okay. Say hi to the people. All right, everyone. Everyone say hello, Phoebe. This is Mr. Phoebe. We weighed him recently. Everyone clap. He is now 17 pounds. He's doing so good. Does he make my life horrible by trying to knock over every single thing to get to food? Yes. Does he try and get his sister to do it because she's a little bit smarter? Yes. P-H-O-E-B-E. Phi is in Phoebe. P is in Phoebe. H is in Obi. O is in Obi. E is in Eb. B is in BB. And E as in hello there, mate. And that's a really old Friends reference. Sorry. There's Mr. Phoebe. He's delightful. We all love him. He's going over there. Yeah. And what's really important about Kapparas, if you are going to be giving, if you're going to be using a chicken, you cannot eat it yourself. It has to be donated to those in need. It has to be given to someone who otherwise would not have a meal, right? So that's one of the other things, because it's part of giving tzedakah. It's part of your requirement that you give to make sure that other people. Any weight loss cats for tips, because oy vey. Okay, here's the one thing. I got an automatic cat food feeder for kibble in the morning. That has changed everything. It's changed everything because there's no, there's this much, I'm giving them a scoop, but the scoop is kind of big. No. And there's no futzing around with it. You give them you put the portion and then you decide. My vet team, they said he needs a quarter cup of food in the morning. He gets a quarter cup of food in the morning. And add so much water to your cat food that it looks like soup. Soup. Just wet. Just liquid, basically. I just opened TikTok. Someone said swung sounds so violent. More waved than swung. I won't lie to you. I think it's important that we're honest. Some people swing. Waved is how I grew up with it. Mind you, I had chickens growing up. We had chickens. These were the chickens we would use. And my parents did this. We would stand and the chicken would be held and then moved. I don't know if you've ever seen a chicken do that, by the way. They're gyroscopic. Their heads do not move. Their bodies move, but the head stays exactly the same. I don't think you're understanding how this works. So the chicken, you do that, and then the chicken is taken to a professional and they slaughter the chicken. This isn't just like you kill the chicken and swing its corpse. It's a live chicken that is then put and then given, it's put into a crate or a cage or a way to transport it, and then it is taken to be slaughtered, and then it's processed and donated. Well, they don't swing it at you. It's over you. And then you can do it literally you can do it cash. Like that. One of my main points against Catholicism is the way you forgive and treat sin and sinless. A lot of people feel that way about Catholicism. Water in the food is always, I forgot what we were talking about for a second. Oh, wait. I can show the chat on screen. Are you kidding me? I could have been doing this the whole time. Can everyone see it? Okay, by the way, I saw that there was a comment. What are you watching these days? I'm watching Mike's video series of the recap of Lost. There's 4 parts out now, okay? They're all great. I'm also listening and I'm also watching, I think my partner and I have been recently rewatching Friends, which he calls the white people show. It's very accurate. What else have I been watching? Oh my God, we're at 109 followers. We're so close to 120. We're so close. What does this mean? This doesn't mean anything. I don't know what this means. Now, if I were to make money on this, how would that happen? You're learning stream stuff. Yeah, I'm so grateful to all of you for hanging out with me as I figure this out. I'm figuring it out very slowly, but I'm figuring it out nonetheless. Settings. Oh, why are my closed captions not available? Mike's Mike, let's go. You can see the YouTube and the Twitch. I know, isn't that so cool? Okay, I can set up donations. Ooh, let's see, how does that work? Oh, okay, channel points. Oh, pop-ups and rewards. Oh, I have to, all right, I'm moving you guys to the side. I can still see your comments. There is, for like 3 episodes, she is the girlfriend of the actress's name. Let's Google her. She's Ross's paleontologist girlfriend. There we go. Asia Taylor. Tyler, sorry. Yeah. It's not good. It's really bad. Friends is obscenely homogenous. There's a reason my partner calls it the White People Show. Okay, we're doing it. Okay, what is this? Okay, we figured it out. What does this mean? Okay, there are apparently... Okay. Wee! Wait, why can't I do it though? Okay, apparently you can do message effects. Am I part of JVP? I am not part of JVP. I've been to JVP events before, but I'm not like a part of JVP. You know what always annoyed me about Friends? Can I be honest with you? The Hanukkah armadillo. When Herschel of Ostropol is right there, you're gonna do that in front of Herschel? Get away from me. Okay, chat settings. Mod icons. Yeah. Deleted message brief. What does that mean? Emotes only. Don't do that. Okay. Well, we did it. I don't know if this worked, but we're going to hope for the best. Yeah, there are a lot of sitcoms that I'm just not a sitcom person in general. Friends is one that I like to have. I can have it on the background, but I'm not paying attention to that show. Though I will say this, one of the things that always gets me is people are like, how did they afford that apartment? They explain it in the show. In the show, it's explained that it's a rent-controlled apartment that's being illegally put in the name of Monica. It was her grandmother's. They put it in the show. They answered that question in the show. This isn't some mystery. This is a safe place for you to say that. And there's no one pressuring you to watch it. No one here is going to make you watch it. Yeah. I'm just not I don't really like the sitcoms that much. I don't really like shows with laugh tracks. That's another thing. I'm not a huge laugh track person. Oh my God, I'm schwitzing so bad. It's so hot. How hot is it in here? I wish I had a thermometer. We need So Hard reacts to Love Island. Here's the thing. I can't watch those kind of shows. I just can't do it. I just can't. I don't like reality shows very much. There's only one reality show I have willingly watched in the past year, and that is The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. And that's because they're my little sociological, it's like my proverbial bug in a jar. It's a sociological experiment. Okay. I can't. Love Island just seems like a humiliation ritual to me. My partner loves a good competition reality show. I like cooking reality shows. That's true. I like cooking competitions. But we had a friend visiting a couple of years ago, and there was one that was sort of, I don't remember what it was. It was some sort of Love Island-y type thing, but with challenges. They had to do like a lot of challenges, physical challenges. Oh my God. It was borderline softcore pornographic. Okay. I could not, it was shocking. I felt like a Puritan, honestly. I was like, whoa, I was so shocked. I did not realize there was that kind of thing going on. And it feels like a humiliation ritual. I tried to watch during COVID, I tried like lockdown. I tried to watch that one show that's the Love is Blind. I guess maybe the money's good. I don't know. The only time I watch reality shows is I like to watch with Trixie and Katya. I like The Circle. What was The Circle? Was that not the Secret Circle? Was that not that one show? I don't remember. Have a good one. Oh, which YouTuber? Tell me immediately. I like competition reality shows in the kitchen only, and not even all of them. I don't like Cutthroat Kitchen. I don't. I haven't seen Turkish MasterChef, but now I should. Everyone say bye, Frankie. Bye, Frankie. What did you just do, Phoebe? What was that? Did you scare yourself? Yeah. I haven't seen A Stranger Among Us. We're all gonna hold everyone's, what is that one? The one phrase, holding space for the lyrics of Defying Gravity. We're all gonna hold space for this, and no one's gonna be mean about it. Dead Domain. Okay. I don't watch films very often. I prefer to watch TV I've already watched. In most cases, there are movies that I love. I also love food movies. Love a good food movie. I just don't watch films very often. Okay, Dead Domain. All right, I'll have to find Dead Domain. And here I was thinking I knew most of the commentary YouTubers. Secret Circle, and it's all about witches. That's what I was thinking about. I don't know what the regular circle is. I don't watch a lot of films. I don't know. I just have never gotten really into films. I love to rewatch a television show that I've seen a million times. I just do. I do. I also like to rewatch a movie I've seen a million times. Okay. I love what I'm going to call Tsarist propaganda, anti-communist propaganda, the film Anastasia, the animated film. Love it. Love a good animated film. What Happened to Monday? Great movie. Julie and Julia. Love it. Another movie I love, 100-Foot Journey. That one's great. Wait, what do you mean? What's happening? On TikTok. Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about that. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do about that one. Hi, Mila. The new things make me anxious, which is why what I've been doing is I have not finished Lost. If you spoil it for me, I'm blocking you permanently from every platform I've ever been on. I am watching Lost as the seasons of Mike's Mike come out so that I know what's happening so I don't get stressed out and anxious. Okay. It just seems like I'm nervous and I'm anxious and I don't need to add more anxiety into my life. By the way, here's the annual reminder. If you are watching on TikTok, I cannot see your comments. Come over to YouTube or to Twitch. My username is Otsohar everywhere. Nope, that's not true. Sohar Yacobi. Sorry. Ooh, just messed myself up. What was I saying? Oh, and I have a Patreon. It's Jewitches. You can support me for as little as $2 a month. You can also support me on Coffee or on Venmo, which is just Sohar, my first name. That is cool. If anyone here has a hook into getting to know the people over at Meta, because I want nothing more than to just have the Sohar username on Instagram where it's just my first name. How cool would that be? Are you kidding me? That would be amazing. I too have not watched Lost. Yeah. Have I watched The Dybbuk? I have, and yet it makes me fall asleep. I have to watch it in pieces. Oh, okay, this is the real confession. I don't like musicals. And I'm not a theater person. I went to a theater magnet school for a while because I love dance and I had to be part of the dramatic arts program. I don't like musicals. There's just too much singing, which is kind of the point of a musical, okay? And so it's really hard because I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying it's anti-Semitic. That's not what I'm saying. I am saying that people find out I'm Jewish and then ask me about musicals as if they think that every Jew loves musicals. I'm not saying that's what they think. I'm not even saying that they believe that. I'm saying that it's highly coincidental that I say I'm Jewish and you bring up, have you been to Broadway? And then they always bring up the Jewish ones, Yentl, Fiddler on the Roof. Guys, I once walked out of Into the Woods, the movie, because I forgot that it was a musical and they started singing and I left. It just doesn't do it for me. It just doesn't do it for me. If you love them, that's great. It's amazing. I'll even support you. I listened to a friend of mine give a 38-minute, we timed it, 38-minute monologue about Wicked. I'll listen. I'll even be supportive. I'll even have opinions. I don't want to listen to the musical. One of my friends apparently found out that their friends thinks all Jews are singers. I can confirm I am not a singer. I love to sing. Hey, my own community cannot hate me for that. Okay, you can hate me for many other things. And you know what? I will be the first. Hey, for all queers who don't like musicals with me, get behind me. Fun fact, someone very, very near and dear to me has a lifelong phobia of flying because years and years and years ago, first season of Lost, I was watching it with my older brother, and there was they may or may not have seen parts of it and now have a lifelong fear of flying when they weren't supposed to. Have you watched Near Heaven? Found Near Heaven, in my opinion, one of the only movies that portrays this possibly romanticize our history. I have not, but I will add it to my list of movies that I will try and watch. Here's the thing. I make no promises because Phoebe, do you think it's rude to just open the door like that? Do you think it's at all rude to just wander in and leave it? Did you just... Phoebe ran in, ran out, and then hit Eloise. I'm sorry, everyone, but I'm with her on this one. Yes, thank you for being on my side. I'm getting behind you. Get behind me. Get behind me. No, I will take it. If you also are queer and don't like musicals and theater, get behind me, babes. I will be the face of this. Okay. All right, everyone. Now you know where to watch it. Yeah, I just can't do it. It's not my thing. Favorite TV shows. Here's the thing. I like watching TV shows I've already watched, and that means they're probably bad. And I believe very sincerely in being able to criticize the things you like. So, for example, I always tell people the garbage show, Grey's Anatomy. Grey's Anatomy is an iconic piece of TV work. Whatever they're doing to it right now, ooh, it's criminal. It's really bad. First seasons of Grey's Anatomy, first like 12 seasons, so good. It's not rude. It's his house. It's rude. We share this house, okay? This is our space. It's rude to bust my door open and leave it open and then to hit his sister. I also love flying. I love flying. I'm never a better person than when I'm flying, okay? I'm never a more organized person than when I'm flying. I'm the best version of me when I'm flying. I have everything ready, okay? I have watched quite a bit of Doctor Who. I have, actually. Some of it's really scary. And I did a really bad thing. Have y'all ever seen the television show Jessica Jones? Kristen Ritter. We have David Tennant. David Tennant is perhaps the scariest he's ever been. So scary and freaky. Don't ever watch that before watching Doctor Who, because then you'll watch Doctor Who and it's freaky and scary. Oh, let's see what's going on over here. What am I doing? Someone mentioned me on Instagram. Oh, you know what we have to talk about? Sandra Oh. Sandra Oh. I love Sandra Oh. She's an icon. Sandra Oh is one of my favorite actresses. Love her, love her, love her, love her. Here's the thing. I am waiting for them to end the show so I can finish watching Grey's Anatomy, because I can't sit around and nonsense about while they're doing this nonsense. I need it all to happen at once. I can't. I have watched so much Grey's Anatomy that at one point we were doing a road trip to Denver, and I did watch Killing Eve. I did a road trip to Denver and I was driving. And so what I made my partner do was have Grey's Anatomy playing on my phone while they're holding it so they can watch. And then I don't need to see the show. I don't need to see the show. I know what's going on. Okay. And I can quote almost every line from that show. And at one point, my partner just started testing me. He's like, okay, we choose a random episode and just start playing it at some point in the episode. And I have to guess what the plot of the episode is. Always right. And I was always right. Okay, you know what time it is? It's time to talk about this. Nope, that's not the wrong thing. What do I do? What am I doing? Add photo, image. Ooh. Nope, desktop. Where did it go? Where is it? Here it is. All right, everyone, hold your horses. It's this. We have to talk about it. Why is this even worse? This is even worse. How do I fix this? This is terrible. Why are all of these so bad? Why is every option? I guess this is the best option. I guess I can move this over here. For those of you who don't know, this is AI slop, which, by the way, someone had a problem with me saying that. So unless I'm informed that it is some sort of dog whistle or slur, I'm still calling it AI slop, okay? Because that's what it is. It's garbage. You stole someone else's work and you made this. Let me read you the caption that was associated with this post. They're finally making their way out of my head and onto your feed. Meet my babies. That is an SS officer. That is an SS officer. This is the part that's crazy, okay? This is it. I know AI art isn't everyone's thing, and honestly, I'd rather be commissioning an artist too. Missing a comma. It's just not something I can afford right now, and I really wanted a way to share my characters with you. There are other ways. Hopefully one day I'll be able to have them painted by a real artist. Until then, this is what we've got. I hope you love them anyway. There's a disclaimer about AI for the Nazi SS officer romance with a Jewish woman who is implied, by the way, to be at one point in a concentration camp. There's a lot of great sayings on the internet, right? Like if I knocked on your head, it'd be hollow like a coconut. That one's a good one. I'm a really big fan of that one. There's also use the sense the good Lord gave you. Get that off. Don't ever bring that again. Don't ever show me that again. This is their Instagram. I'm sorry. I guess I have to compact. Why can't I move myself? Whatever, we're just gonna move there. Oh, I guess I can do this. Okay. I hope this is okay for everyone. You're welcome to tell me about the formatting as you can. I am just learning, and I appreciate everyone who's been kind with me about it. Oh, you can see it moving around. Yeah. I want you to watch this real quick, okay? Convincing you to read my book. I don't know if you can see this. This is a Pinterest board. This is a Nazi march. There you have the swastika Nazi Third Reich flag. Here we've got more soldiers, blah, 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 blah. For the boys, history called men. For the men who were never given a choice and for the ones who dared to change, even when it cost them everything. Being an SS officer was not something you like, wasn't something you didn't have a choice in becoming. You didn't just, oh, darn, I slipped and I fell on a banana peel and I'm an SS officer. Okay. Also, this is poorly written, but whatever, it's fine. What about this one? Convincing you to read my book. So this is romanticizing a Nazi officer, by the way. Motherless Mama's Boy. We have pictures of very clearly blonde men. Now, this is a really poorly written quote, and I say this, I have a degree in English, okay? With a specification, by the way, in fiction. I'm a soldier now, trained for violence, period. Rewarded for cruelty, period. And somewhere along the way, the boy who wanted to be a teacher disappeared beneath the blood. Disappeared beneath the blood? Good. Evocative. Everything else before it? Let's skip past this, right? Let's go to this one. Drop your Insta. This one's ignore that. It's just farming. Convincing you to read my book based on the aesthetic. Okay, image 1. Oh, okay, Puppet Master. Oh, wonder who that is. Oh, where is this picture taken? Who's that, I wonder? Huh. This is her, whatever, blah, blah, blah. How's your little writing going? Look at these pictures, by the way. So everyone who liked this, what? Did you see that right there? The Nazi flag, 415 likes. Oh. I saw this immediately, by the way. I wasn't even, I was scrolling through her account because I was like, that's crazy. Scroll through this, and I immediately went, whoa, is that the, huh. 1.2 million views, by the way, in the last 30 days, right? That was before this. Whatever quotes, nonsense, whatever. More farming, whatever. So I just, I'm closing that page so I don't have to look at it again. We said, can this be done? Yes, we can be done with it now for now. Well, obviously, so a lot of people were speculating in my comments, and I even made a video. AI Drek. You're a genius. I will be now using that. I will be using that immediately. Obviously, I'll be using it. Everyone, we're using it from now on. Yeah. And you, I don't know if it's Micah or Mika. You can correct me in the comments. You are absolutely correct, because I made a video about that, because I got about 100 DMs about it. So I made a video saying that I got about 100 DMs. That video now has 116,000 views, 516 comments. Yeah, a lot of people are suspecting it used to be Hermione, which, by the way, is one of my most hated things. Evil, by the way. Micah, perfect. I hate to mention them, so everyone go donate to a GoFundMe of a trans person, your dearest friends. Send them some money, because I don't really want to talk about them any further than I have to. The idea of it makes me sick to my stomach, doesn't it? It makes me nauseous. The writing is probably AI too. I don't doubt it, but also I think that it's just really bad writing. And you know what? Here's the thing. I feel really strongly about this. Sometimes people are just bad at writing, and they're not using AI. They are just bad at it. And it's not a crime to be bad at writing. It's not. I think we should be, it's not a crime to be bad at writing. Some of us, we should be allowed to write poorly. I read some of my old work recently and I was like, good Lord, people are reading this. Yeah. So it's not a crime to be bad at writing. It is annoying. By the way, I am 90% of the way to my stream goal. So if you have a friend who likes to watch live streams, send me them or send them to me. If you're watching on TikTok, you can come subscribe on Twitch so I can actually see your comments, because I can't see your comments if you're watching on TikTok. I need to go get a charger for my phone. And if everyone's really nice, I will show you my other cat. Does everyone want to see Eloise? If you don't want to see Eloise, that's your problem. I'm not gonna. Wait, sweet baby, come here, my love. All right, this is baby Eloise. Hi, baby. Hey, what happened on Wattpad stays on Wattpad, okay? Good Lord. Did you hear Wattpad and get scared? What happened? I think she literally panicked upon hearing that. Because now she's normal again. Are you scared? Are you scared of the cable? Yep, it's the cable. It's a cable, my love. That was the scariest thing. Okay. All right. You're scaring me now. Do you want to go? You want to go down? Okay. All right. Lay down. Oh. All right. Go. Jesus. Oh. I don't know if you heard her purring the whole time she does that, by the way. She purrs so loud and then she freaks out. It was like Tofu the snake with a Markiplier. I don't like that I know that reference. Do you want to hear something really funny, by the way? So most of you know me from my private work, my personal content, even though my personal content now has like over 100,000 followers. But a lot of other people know me from my professional work, right? Jewitches, where I talk about spirituality and history and tradition. And so they only know me in that context. And so then I'll reference something that they see as like out of character. And they're like, why do you know that? Why do you know what fanfiction.net is? And I'm like, guys, I know that you only know me in my professional context, but I am also a person. I've had many a life, many a Wattpad account, many an AO3, if you will. I can't believe I'm out of Red Bull. Squeeze, did I scare you, baby? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll bring you back when the cable isn't here so you won't get scared. I wish I didn't know about Tofu the snake, especially because that person has a history of pretty horrible things. Okay, let's see what's happening over here. Oh, 2 hours. Whoa. I can't believe you guys are hanging out for 2 hours. What's everyone doing? I'm schwitzing still. Oh, let's check in on the temperature. Temperature check, everyone. It is still 91 degrees. Oh, we're all writing. What are we writing? An essay, a boring essay. Someone's been mutuals with you for like 10 years. It's incredibly weird to see your dehumanization in real time. It's freaky. Tofu's owner, not Mark. I make no comment about Mark because I don't know them like that. Folded laundry, made and ate dinner. Look at you being so productive. That's impressive. First time chat. Thank you for joining. 76 here, but humid. Oh, yeah. French toast, delicious. Markiplier. Went from 87 to 85 here. That is progress. Horrible, awful, terrible, but still progress. You cannot cheer in your own channel. That's the worst thing I've ever heard. Why can't I cheer someone else on in my comments? It's 91. Oh, yeah. Lives and long videos help my brain work. I'm so glad I can be helpful. What are these emojis? What are these? Wait, why can't I see them? This is... Oh, that I can close that. Okay, wait. It's 11 here, so I'm ignoring my bedtime. It's down to 74, but it gets pretty humid in the daytime. Don't ignore your bedtime. If you need to go, you need to go. What are these emotes? Me trying to figure out this stream makes me feel so old. Frequently used. Oh, okay. There's a little heart. What does that do? Let's see. Oh, I sent it in the chat. Oh, that's cute. Virtual hug is cute. My emotes are from subs I have. Oh. I like the little purple one. That's cute. Is that because it's Twitch? Okay, let's see. What the heck is this? What is Brat Chat? I think that's funny. Chat. Twitch has free emotes. Okay, great. It's like Discord, but different. By the way, if you subscribe to the $10 tier of the Patreon, you do get automatic access to the Discord. Bedtime is arbitrary. That's true. Bedtime is arbitrary. Bedtime is arbitrary even if you're employed. And if you're like me and you're self-employed, bedtime is arbitrary and also really hard to enforce because there's no one to make me do anything. Charlie X had a Brat Summer Project. That's true. You know what's fun? Not to drop some of my own lore here. I saw Charlie XCX perform as the opening act for Marina and the Diamonds in 2013. Liberal, conservative, what terrible options. I'm a leftist. Welcome to the chat. Not the only options. We get way further than that. Yeah. Ooh, what does the first mean? Founder, first month subscriber? Are you a subscriber? Oh my God. I don't know what that means. Charlie and Marina. Yeah, Charlie XAX, Marina and the Diamonds. Oh, that's great. You know what else is fun? This is a really fun one. I went. So back in the day, this was Twitter days. Back when having a following meant something, as in like I have 100,000 followers now, right? A lot of followers I have almost 200,000 on TikTok and 100,000 on Instagram. It means a lot of things, but it doesn't mean everything, right? Well, thank you, Cosmos Buggy. Finger hearts of all the different varieties, if you will, right? You get multiple finger hearts. I think they do this one. Back in the day, I had someone who followed me on Twitter, and they DM'd me, and they're like, hey, I just stood in line all day for the Halsey album release party for Badlands. I have an extra ticket. I actually have 2. Do you and a friend want to go? And I said, hell yeah. So I went to the Halsey album release party concert. There was free Taco Bell. And it was incredible. It was actually an amazing concert. It was fantastic. And that wasn't even the only Halsey concert I went to for free because of Twitter. God, Twitter used to mean something back in the day. Used to mean something. And there was a little photo booth. Wait, okay. We're all going to be very chill about this. Everyone be normal. I have a picture of that day that we took because they had a little free photo booth. And it says Halsey Badlands. Let's find it. That's me, the natural blonde in the middle. Yeah, Halsey Badlands. That was a cool one. That was a fun one. I've been to many a concert. Yeah, here it is. You can see the ticket. It was an airplane ticket because you were going to the Badlands. Ugh. Halsey went all out for that one. That one was crazy. It's such a random topic for me to be talking about, Halsey. That's what I say. I've lived many a life. All right. I feel like there was other things I was planning on talking about on stream other than the horrible AI dreck of the SS soldier Jewish woman. Oh, by the way, I got a combined like 300,000 views on the videos on TikTok. The amount of people being like, oh, I don't really see the problem with it. You don't see the problem with the fiction romanticizing a Nazi who chose to be an SS officer? And I was a Tumblr girl. And I did code my own sites. I did. For my, no, it's a fake engagement bot. That's how I feel about a lot of things. A lot of the comments I get, I'm like, for my mental health, this is not a real person who's saying this to me. This is a rage bait bot that is trying to upset me. Well, some people are citing that there was one specific documented case of a romance happening between an SS officer and a Jewish woman in a concentration camp. There was a movie about a Nazi soldier and a Black woman within the last 10 years. I believe it was Where Hands Touch, Where Hands Meet, or something like that. I know the main actress was Amanda Stenberg, who was quite young when she was cast in that role. And I feel like the adults in her life failed her in encouraging her to take that role. Remember when Tumblr blogs you can make do you remember when people would sell Tumblr headers? I don't know if y'all were involved, but there were certain accounts that would sell URLs. They would like save the URL and then you could buy it from them. That was a cushy gig for some people. Yuck. Yeah. It's not good. I'm sorry. I still feel so bad that I scared Squeesh. Her name, by the way, is Eloise, which then got to Eloise Wheeze. I do still use Tumblr, actually. In case you're wondering, I am Sohar over on Tumblr, and then the Jewitches also has a Tumblr. I'm still on there because I love an aesthetic. If I could Pinterest professionally, okay, all right. I love a suggestion. Let's take. Hey, if you want to do suggestions like this, yeah, the Tumblr black market was nuts. Okay. Lilith by Nikki Marmory. All right, let's look. I have read it before a while ago. I don't remember what it was. Okay. Well, this is, I can't see it. More about this. Okay. Can y'all see? Why is it not showing? There we go. No. Before we get to the Nikki Marmory comment, I would rather it be a story between a Jewish person and a Romani person, because honestly, people act like our communities never made or interact with each other. They do, which is nuts, because I know more than one, not just from the internet, more than one Romani Jewish person. You think the actual Jewitches Tumblr URL is up for sale? Mine is the Jewitches because someone took Jewitches. They also took it on, I think, Twitter. I'm not buying it. Proud follower of the Jewitches Tumblr. Thank you. Okay, let's read this together. A triumphantly feminist retelling of an ancient creation myths in the tradition of Madeline Miller and Claire North. Okay, here's a very controversial opinion. We're keeping it between us. I hope, I don't know. There's like 30 people here. I don't love Madeline Miller as an author. She doesn't strike me in the heart like everyone else does. Circe was not the magic that everyone else saw, and I didn't like Song of Achilles. Sorry. I know that's hard for some people. Lyrically rendered, this epic US debut tells the story of a woman known as Adam's first wife and her fall from paradise and quest for revenge. Before Eve, there was Lilith. Okay. Lilith and Adam are equal and happy in the Garden of Eden until Adam decides Lilith should submit to his will and lie beneath him. She refuses and is banished forever from paradise. How is it a feminist Okay, this is the thing that always gets me. How is it a feminist retelling when in the original story she says, hey, I don't like how you're treating me. I'm going to find my purpose and leave. That's what she says in the tradition, in the traditional story, right? And then you say, she says, I don't like it. And he says, get out. How is it more feminist that she is kicked out as opposed to having her agency and leaving on her in her own free will? How is it feminist to give him the power when she rejects his bid for power? Can someone explain it to me? I genuinely don't understand it. I don't get it, because I find it so strange and so odd that you would rather have a woman be disgraced and banished for saying no than having a woman say no and choose to leave and walk away and take herself out of that situation. It just seems so strange to me. Okay. Demonized and sidelined. Ugh. The word demonized I need you to take it out of the word for Lilith, because demonized, she is a demon. She goes, I realize that my goal, what I am, is a demon. And this is what I need to be. This is my space in the universe. This is my cosmic role. And she's not mad about it. She's not sad about it. She says, this is what I'm supposed to do. And I will be honest with you, a lot of it is rooted in white Christian heteropatriarchy, which sees Jews as inherently gross and uses their standard and superimposes it onto Jews to make Jews seem like they are unique in oppressing women. But she has a secret. She has already tasted the fruit of the tree of knowledge. Endowed with wisdom, she knows why Asherah, God's wife and equal, the queen of heaven, is missing. Okay. Lilith has a plan. She will rescue Eve, find Asherah, restore balance to the world, and regain her rightful place in paradise. See, yet again, it's... Okay. Lilith's quest for justice drives her throughout history, from the ziggurats of ancient Sumer to the court of Israel's Queen Jezebel, to the side of a radical preacher in Roman Judea. Noah's wife, Norea, Jezebel, and Mary Magdalene all play their part in Lilith's enlightenment. Of course, you bring in the Christian figure, because why would you leave the Christian figure out? Of course. In the modern age, she observes the catastrophic consequences of a world built on equality. Lilith finally understands what must be done to correct the wrong done to women and all mankind at the beginning of time. Inspired by ancient myths and suppressed scriptures. Suppressed scriptures? You mean Stugat? Huh. Lilith's thought-provoking ambition, all evocative literary voice, it's certainly thought-provoking, and a triumphantly engaging heroine. Except for the fact that you stripped her of who she is. You took away her core, which is that she is intent. She says, I know my purpose. My purpose is to sicken and injure babies. I know my purpose. My purpose is to kill babies. Their souls return to Hashem. They return back to for those who don't know, in Jewish tradition, beneath the seat of God in like the heavenly structure, God guards the souls, and then the angel Lila takes the souls and ushers them into the infant's body, right? Because the soul is not in the body until the body is born. Why is Jungkook the bus driver all of a sudden? Yeah, you're correct. Why? So this idea that like you liberated Lilith. You made her sexy and a feminist heroine. You did it. Women are free now. Screw those Jewish women who literally kept her memory alive for centuries. Ooh, how dare they? Ooh. Oh, it's such a nonsense. I just don't do it. It just doesn't do it for me, guys. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. And that's the problem I have with a lot of these pagans who worship Lilith, because in order to, and like I literally had this interaction on Threads the other day, and I asked in very clear terms, and they said I was correct. So I'll just read it. I think I can stop charging my phone. Where is it? Replies. So I said specifically, I find this interesting. If I understand you correctly, you accept one part of the story, which styles her as rebelling against God, but you reject the same story wherein she finds her place in the universe as part of the cosmic balancing. They're like, oh, well, she rejects God. That's the same story. It's not even multiple chapters. It's like 2 paragraphs. Women can only be free thinking if they don't ever hurt anyone and they don't do anything transgressive, and they actually just fit my mold of what I think women should do. That's the only way women can be. Yeah, women can only be free if they're, as you say, schmexy. And this is the thing. This is one of the problems that I have with a lot of the ideas of the Lilith devotees, if you will. They will take the part of Jewish mythology that teaches us that that Lilith and Adam were created equally of the same dust, and they were made and they were equal. And then he wanted her to be beneath him. He wanted her to be subservient. She said no. And that's where it diverges. That's pretty much the only thing they'll take. And then they go, and then the evil Jews, they demonized her. And it's like, well, you just stopped reading, didn't you? You didn't finish the story where she had her own intentions, her own perspective, her own place, and centuries of her as a cosmic force, not just a cosmic force, but of a force of God. She is a part of the cosmic balance of the universe, all of which is beneath God. Yeah. It just... makes me gross. It just grosses me out, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just find it very annoying. It's so... how do I even describe it? Like, I don't even know. How does one describe what it is? I don't know, but I hate it is what it is. I hate it. I hate it and I don't like it. And also it's yuck. Like so many words and so right, actually. You're actually incredibly correct on that one. I kid you not, by the way, I'm schwitzing so hard right now. It is obscenely, it's still 90 degrees and it's so warm in here. And I have a really big light because it's dark and I need light, which I don't know if it's actually helping heat the room up, but it feels really warm because of it. Okay, what are the other things that I wanted to talk to you guys about? Because I did actually write things down. I said I would stream for about 2 hours. We're at 2 hours and 26 minutes. So I will get off eventually. I don't know when. I will say it's not just an internet phenomenon. It predates the internet. I'm going to grab a book. Actually, I lied. I'm not going to because I don't want to start that drama. There are genuine books published by reputable publishing houses, especially within the pagan world, which present misinformation and present UPG as historic data, as fact, as something that is supported by evidence, archaeologic evidence, folkloric evidence through tradition, and it's not. And like you just said, it's not just that they do things similar, it's that they transpose other histories and other practices onto her. I was talking with a good friend of mine who is a Hellenic reconstructionist and a scholar, and they're quoted in the article. They do it poorly. They will attribute certain aspects of Hecate, for example, to Lilith, and they'll say that Lilith and Hecate are the same thing. Lilith and Hecate are just mirrors of each other. Hecate is a protector of children. Lilith is murdering babies. What does Mary Magdalene have to do with this? Mary Magdalene just got dragged into it. Why not? Make it funsies. One of my greatest findings this year. I love how elegant you are. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I try. I find that I feel like I'm stumbling over my words every 14 seconds, but I'm trying. Mary Magdalene also gets thrown into a lot of things. Sorry, Mary. That sucks for you. Hey, I know what it's like to be a Jewish lady wrongfully referenced in things. You know what's funny? I must have written this. I wrote this a couple days ago when I was working on something. I had to write down my total following count. And this was like 3 days ago, maybe, or 4 days ago. And I had 111,000 followers on Instagram. And now I have, I think I have almost 100. I now have 113. It's freaking me out really bad. I was telling a customer this. I write my thoughts down into my phone. So how are you getting into my phone and hearing them? Yeah, I'm posting them on the internet. The internet is on my phone. So how are you hearing them if it's just on my phone? It's so weird. Yeah, the retellings do just erase their uniqueness, right? The retellings just erase their uniqueness. And I think that we have this problem because of the idea that archetypes are interchangeable. Archetypes are not interchangeable. Just because something fits into the archetype does not mean that they are the same or that they are equal or that they are non-unique or that they're interchangeable, right? We can have archetypes, for example, chthonic deities, right? Deities of the dead. That doesn't mean they're the same. Santa Muerte is not hell. Hell is not Inanna. Inanna is not Ishtar. None of them are, they're not interchangeable. And all right, we're all gonna be really chill and normal about this. Everyone be chill and normal. Yeah, I remember seeing people trying to work with Saint Sarah Kali. Yeah. And I've seen people also say that Saint Sarah Kali is the same as Santa Muerte. And also, I don't remember which Orisha it was, but they also mentioned it the same as, she was like, yeah, that's actually the same Orisha. No, don't do that. So 2020, I have just started posting on Witch Talk. I've been talking about things before that, but on Witch Talk, I start posting 2020. I post my video on Lilith. Really scary. People get weird and horrible and awful in the comments. Let's find this. Want to see the cutest picture of all time? This was Eloise when we adopted her. Oh, shut up. Isn't she so cute? I love saying shut up when no one's talking. It's really fun. So, I wonder if I took more screenshots. Are those the only ones I have? I have to sneeze. No, I don't think I took any more. Damn, I should have. So I posted about it. And I was stitched by someone named Witchfoot. Witch Talk is the community on TikTok that talks about witchcraft and spirituality. They said, yet another plagiarizing Abrahamic religion trying to steal. Demons aren't Jewish, SMH. I never said all demons aren't Jewish. I said, our culture, stories, practice, rituals, and yes, demons, as in the ones that source from within Judaism. They go by many names and are the Anunnaki that followed Enki against Enlil, Sumerian, predating Judeo anything. That is a theory, and there are absolutely many demons who are transposed into Jewish tradition because of their pre-Judaic roots. For example, there's a really interesting one, the Jewish toilet demon. If you've never heard of the Jewish toilet demon, hold on to your butt. It's amazing. Jewish toilet demon, one of my favorite topics. Bar Sharika Panda, who's believed to be a transposition, a previous Sumerian spirit deity that was then brought into the Jewish tradition and kept within it, right? They then claimed, and I wish I had, I wonder if I can find it. I think I can probably find it. Give me like 2 seconds. Anyway, claiming that they were actually Hel, Hecate, and Inanna, which is just not true. Yeah. That was crazy. Imagine being such a terrifying demon that the oldest civilization, one of the world's oldest religion in the world, would both fear you. Yeah. Well, it's not uncommon, right? This is the idea of a demon or a deity or a figure or a spirit that hunts during the birthing experience and hunts our infants is a worldwide phenomena. We have it all over the world. I wrote a research paper in my undergrad about there's a similar spirit in Indonesia right? We have this as a global phenomenon. What is the scariest moment? Maternal mortality rates are absurd. It is so obscenely dangerous to have an infant, even now, especially due to things like medical racism and institutionalized racism, right? Having a child, birthing a child is so dangerous. Being an infant without things like a vitamin K shot, without modern medical care and access is terrifying, right? Infant mortality rates were absurdly high. Dying during childbirth was absurdly common. Of course, it was the scariest position to be in. It was terrifying, right? And there was nothing you can do about it. For most of history, there was nothing you could do to make it better. What were you going to do? How were you going to save yourself? You can't. The baby has to come out one way or another. Whether you survive that experience isn't going to change it. Whether you survive it doesn't matter. Because once you're pregnant, unless you have a miscarriage, unless you have an abortion, and in which case, still very dangerous. Hello from TikTok. Welcome in. What am I looking at? I'm looking at something, but I can't tell. Oh, that's fun. Question of God's gender. It's a fascinating subject. My professor really actually wrote one of the most prominent works on it. Amazing. I love the concept. I love gender and God. I always tell people, always ask me, like, is God gendered? And I'm like, we gender God. You know what's interesting? Jews, we also have a history of changelings, and the idea would be that they would be switched out with a bundle of twigs and leaves and sticks, and the real infant would be stolen, and the parent would go crazy. Isn't that interesting? Whoa, we have a story here of a demon disguising herself as a child caretaker and trying to poison a god who was a child at the time, who then killed her when she was breastfeeding him. That's kind of crazy. That's amazing. I love mythology. Mythology is one of the things that got me into studying religion as a whole. I've always loved mythology. I've always been fascinated by it. Isn't that so cool that we as humans create myths, and those myths mirror each other across the world, no matter where we are? And that's not to say they're the same. I think it's important we say this. It's not to say they're the same, but they share so many traits, right? In Hungary, it's witches who replace babies. How fun. Did you know that in Hungary, for a certain period of time, if you were convicted of witchcraft on a first offense, the punishment was to be forced to dress as a Jew, because Jews are forced to dress in a specific way to indicate that we were Jewish. And you'd be forced to stand in the village square all day wearing the clothes of a Jew. And that was the punishment if you were found guilty of practicing witchcraft as a first offense. Isn't that interesting? Okay, I'm starting to get a little tired. All right, friends. I've put away the cable, so we're going to see if Eloise wants to say hi. All right. You want to purr into the microphone for them? I don't know if you can hear it. Hear you purring? She's very good at purring. Favorite mythological creature? Probably the mud mouse. Love a mud mouse. Also partial to the tree goose. Big fan of that. If I'm being like a classic mythological creature, like unicorn, I like a dragon. I like a dragon as much as most people like a dragon. Ooh, Sami mythology. All right, Squeesh. I'm scared you're going to get scared of something. Hungary has a lot of interesting history when it comes to witches and Jews. And also, there's a really good book. It's called An Egg at Easter. No, I have not watched that film. I had, what was I saying? Oh, there's a really good book. It's called An Egg at Easter by Venetia Newell. It's an academic study of Easter eggs and the history. Ding, 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 anti-Semitism, guys. Sorry. Yeah, I'm just sorry. Charlie Kirk is the main character. Yay. Yeesh. Squeeze, please don't do that right now. I don't like when you make that noise. Thank you. Sometimes when she licks her paws, it makes a gross noise, and I don't like it. I know it makes me a sad parent, but I just don't enjoy it. Okay. All right, it's 8:40. What's the book called again? It's called An Egg at Easter. My copy is I don't know. I believe it's out of print. This is An Egg at Easter, a folklore study. You can screenshot it and turn it around. This one was from the Seattle Public Library, by the way. I love a used book. If you want to learn about some interesting folklore, if you go to my podcast, the Jewish's podcast, you can listen to it wherever. There, I have so much on there. I have a talk, I have a discussion about dragons, mermaids, werewolves, all within Judaism, vampires. I've also done one on the mud mouse and Adne Hasadeh. I also did one on the Jewish toilet demon. That one's fun. And if you want, I did a podcast with a good friend of mine, Annika Katharina, she's a German-American folk practitioner. And we talked all about how Easter is not pagan. It was never pagan. And you did fall for Nazi propaganda. Sorry. If you ever thought it was pagan, then you have witnessed the effects of how Nazi propaganda is still around to this day, which is fun. Okay. That was a lot of fun. Thanks for hanging out. And I can't wait to hang out with you guys again. If you're not subscribed to my YouTube, you should do that. If you're not subscribed to my Twitch and you use Twitch, you should do that. We do argue about Easter being pagan every 3 months, and I argue about Christmas trees and Easter all the time. It makes me sad because there's so many actually cool pagan traditions, and there's so much cool folk syncretism, and we don't need Nazi propaganda. Anyway, if you want to support me, my Patreon does give you extra content. $2 a month. You will get not only all the old previous posts, but you also get fun Yiddish every